Kia family. Come on into the room. We have a fire presentation this evening. I see you all waiting. Come on in. Welcome to the Dr. Kia Pruitt Show. It is Friday, March the 20th, 2026, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the dot. Happy Friday! Check in and let us know where you're hailing from.
Scriptures and bloodlines she knows, spreading truth wherever she goes. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. Through her channel, knowledge flows, breaking chains that hold us close, teaching paths to abundance and wealth, guiding others to free themselves. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. From currencies to investments divine, she's helping her tribe to realign with wisdom, ancient and new, showing what we all can do. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia lights the way to a new and brighter day.
All right, Soul Tribe. I see so many of you already checking in. I'm so excited. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Yay! Woo! We made it. We made it, Soul Family. Can you believe it? We made it to the end of the week. This is going to be such a wonderful treat today. Okay, because I don't know how you all been feeling, but Mama Kia is tired. Okay, not tired, but tired. Okay, just so much going on. All the prices are going up high, inflation going through the roof. And so many people are calling me, just telling me about layoffs, firings. I mean, just issues, even relationship issues, as people are just stressed out and sometimes arguing over politics, inflation, bills, deportation. I mean, so much is going on, family, but it is very, very critical and important that we maintain our energy. We maintain our positive mindset, knowing that everything is working out for our good. As such, you know, we have your favorite Sheik coming on the show. He's in the back office to tell us about what's going on because some things are coded. We just don't see it, right? But this gentleman, the Sheik of the Soul Tribe, tells us all the time when you understand and overstand numerology and you know how to decode, you understand about gematria, which is their language, the elite's language, then you get to see what's really going on by putting the pieces of the puzzle together. I see you, Texas. I saw North Carolina in the house. I saw Atlanta, Alabama, Hawaii. Hit that like button, family. Howdy doody. California's here. Sister Janine is here. That is our moderator, the Adept Moore in the house. He's going to have to come back on the show again as he's very, very good at encouraging us to be fit because that makes no sense to be wealthy and be in poor health, right? So you all, yeah, you are so excited. Sister Janine said, "Oh snap, Jacob is coming on. It's gonna be fire." Y'all know who I sound like, who I feel like acting like. What's the guy's name that's always with Chief Rod Hayes? Young Elder. Oh yeah. Breaking heads, twisting caps. I don't even know how to sound like him, but he's always like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be good tonight." So juicy. Japan's in the house. Come in. Love and Light, Michigan. Houston in the house. I see we're almost at 300. Hi, London. We'll start at 300. It's going to be fire. Ooh, we family. And I just got some breaking news from Chief Rod Hayes. He's going to be on next week. We got a whole lineup. Yeah, Young Elder. We love him, though. On Monday, I am going to be on Orisha Stone show. He is on YouTube and he gave me a lovely necklace. Ooh, I can't wait to show it off this weekend to y'all. Made out of pure gold. Ooh, child. And copper. So I'm going to be on Orisha Stone show on Monday. On Tuesday, we're going to have, I'm not sure who's going to be on Tuesday. Possibly that's the day Chief Rod Hayes will be on. On Wednesday, Dr. G will be on from the original Reawakening House of Reawakening Minds. I was on her show on her 71st birthday the other day, but she will be on our show Tuesday evening. On Wednesday, we will have Sister Latanya or Dr. Latanya Taylor, who is a very famous worldwide life coach. Woo, child. Since it's Women's History Month, we're going to have some ladies on. I'm going to try to get into, I was just talking to Asir, Duke of Tears. Y'all go tell Asir happy birthday when you find him on Facebook, on somewhere on social media. But I'm going to see if his wife can come on next week because we want to get some ladies in here to help us along with the gentleman that's raising the vibrations of the planet. Yeah, Dr. G would be on Wednesday night. I'm so excited. So, hey, UK. So we got a nice lineup for next week. We're still lining people up. Sheik Jacob Bay today. Next week, I'll be on Orisha Stone show, or Orisha will be on my show as well next week. Orisha Stone, okay? He has a jewelry business. He's a great friend of Chief Rod Hayes. He knows about all the things going on, knows about the gold standard, but he has a beautiful jewelry business. I want to present his business to the Soul Tribe and his knowledge and wisdom that he's been accumulating over time. Yes. I see Sheik Bay is in the back. I see him waiting. I didn't know when he was coming in. Did y'all see that? I'm coming, Sheik. Did y'all see that video I put up? It was a clip that talked about how the elephant used to be a symbol of majesty for prehistoric Americans. Oh my God. I always wondered what the fascination was with, elephants. You have different secret societies like the Deltas who are Black secret society, sorority secret society that have the elephant as their symbol. You have the Republican Party that has the elephant as their symbol. And they were just talking about how that was our domesticated animal, like people have dogs today. And it was our symbol of majesty. But when the elites or the Elites came and usurped power from our republic, they not only did away with certain people's lives, a lot of indigenous people's lives, they also unalived a lot of our elephants and then took the remaining elephants that weren't unalived all around the world for their zoos, and how they were really just parading our dynasty and empire, the symbol of majesty that we had here, around the whole world, letting them know just as the elephant was encaged at zoos, we were encaged. That's crazy when you hear about world history, right? Real history, and how we were prisoners of war. That really blew my mind. But the good news is there's a transition of power happening. The Elites, the elites, the Nephilim, whatever you want to call them, the fallen angels, the fallen entities that usurped America, the Americas, and our republic, and enslaved the entire planet. Their time is up. Their time is up. And now it's time for a whole new reality, a whole new republic, a whole new transition in power. And having said that, family, I agree. The lions may be kings of the jungle. When the elephant moves, everything gets out the way. Here we are going to introduce a phenomenal man who's well studied. He is studied in numerology and gematria. He is a family man of adult children. He's well known. A lot of people don't know this, in many, many industries, has many businesses that he's working on, many things that he's done in the past. One day he's going to tell you how awesome he is. He's also a music producer, and he's produced for many, many well-known artists. This gentleman knows a lot about how the elites communicate with each other because he's well studied, and he's writing a book about it. Because he's writing a book about it, he has decided to come on to the show, on the Dr. Kia Pruitt show, as the Sheik of the Soul Tribe, to make us aware of what has been going on with the enslavement of the planet, how we are to conduct ourselves now, and what we are to expect as prepared people who are the majestic people of the Creator. And that includes humanity all across the globe. It is your time, royalty, to stand in your regal positions and take over, because the old world has collapsed and the new world is here. Without any further ado, please help me welcome the Sheik of the Soul Tribe, our very own Sheik Jacob Bey. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. You're looking so young. What have you been doing?
Eating better.
Listening better.
Listening to you.
Oh, okay, Sheik. You look amazing. You really do.
Look, eating bean burgers like you.
They're saying hi, Sheik. Welcome. Doesn't he look great? You look younger. You look healthier. Your face looks very thin and healthy. Wow.
Are you ready for this?
We are ready. Oh, Jacksonville, Florida's in the house. Duval. Hi, Sister Jacqueline. We are ready. We are ready. Oh, they're saying you're handsome. Come on through here. I think he's single, sister. He's smiling. I'm going to make him blush. Yes, he's handsome. Samuel Jackson. They said Samuel Jackson is back. Welcome, Sheik. A Sheik is a teacher, right? Like a chief is a Sheik, an instructor and teacher. Y'all, the Soul Tribe, y'all named them Sheik. Okay, we're not going to keep y'all waiting. They just chiming in. They from everywhere, all over the world, Sheik.
That's nice.
Oh, hi, Star C. Star C says, hi, guys. I love what y'all are doing. What you got? Oh, before we get started, family, Sheik is so close to releasing his book, and I can't wait. Sheik, tell us a little bit about your book before you get into the show.
The book is called The Copper King, The Transition in Power. Mm-hmm. And I've been working on this book ever since COVID began, because I knew that the 400-year prophecy was coming to an end. You know, they said that we were first put in captivity in the year 1619. Mm-hmm. Really, it happened. The story goes back to 1614 with that whole Pocahontas thing, right?
Mm.
And when Pocahontas was captured, she was captured and taken over to Europe in the year 1617. And
Okay.
then they impregnated her. They always said it was Captain John Smith, but that was a lie. That's the whole Disney story. It was a guy named Captain John Rolfe, Rolfe, right?
Okay.
Now, they took her over to Europe, renamed her Rebecca.
Mm.
That's your first Becky, so to speak.
Okay.
And then impregnated her. Okay.
Okay.
John Rolfe impregnated her. Then when she had the baby, they murdered her.
Oh my God.
Okay. The baby's name was Thomas Rolfe. That's why you call him, that's why we always say Uncle Tom.
Mm.
That's what Uncle Tom is really about, right?
Got it. Mm.
Because once the baby was born, you have to understand who Pocahontas was, and that wasn't her real name anyway.
Mm.
Moataka, something like that. That was her real
Okay.
name.
Okay.
And they named her Pocahontas because the chief of the Powhatan tribe said that she reminded him so much of her deceased mother.
Mm.
She looked just like her. So that's where he gave her the name. Now, when she had the baby and they murdered her, then they came back over to the United States, because not the United States, to the Americas. And when they came to the Americas. Then they killed off the chief of the Powhatan tribe, because Pocahontas was the one who had the birthright after the
Mm.
right.
Okay.
And you have to understand that the Powhatan tribe owned all those territories that you call the 13 colonies,
Mm.
right? So when they killed off the chief of the Powhatan tribe, now the baby has the birthright because that's the heir.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they were able to start colonizing. So they did that in the year 1618. And once they were able to do that in 1618, then they put us all into captivity in the following year, 1619.
Mm.
So that's the whole history of 1619. Now you add in Genesis 15:13, it says our people will be afflicted in the land that's not ours for 400 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, add
Yes.
400 years to 1619, and what you got? 2019
2019.
and
Yes.
COVID-19,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Now, I always said to you, 7 means completion. Add 7 years to that, and you got what? 2026.
Oh my God.
And what is
Yes.
this year? 2026.
2026.
And everything in threes. What month are we in?
We in the third month.
There you go. Right?
Mm. Yes.
What's today's date? I'm gonna trip you out on this one, because I
Okay.
always said the number 46, which is the opposite of 64. The number 46 means transition and power.
Right.
Today is 3, then you got 20 plus 26. Everything in threes, and 20 plus 26 is 46.
Mm.
Now they're doing the transition and power today.
Mm. Can you hear? I can't hear you.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I had actually sent you some stuff
Oh,
via email.
okay. Okay, let me see. So the transition of power begins today. This is this is exciting.
Right. So they start doing it. And let me refresh some of your listeners. I've
Okay.
always said that the number 41 means king, King. And if you break it down, K is 11. You do it with your fingers, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. K is 11.
Mhm.
I is 9. That's 11 plus 9 is 20. N is 14. 20 plus 14 is 34. G is 7. Right? That's
Right.
41. 41 means
Mm.
king. So what you're seeing is a transition in wealth to our people, which is the crown. The crown is the king. And it's America's crown. It's not just, it's just America's crown. It's no
Okay.
longer the crown of England, it's the crown over here. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's America's crown, no longer the crown of England.
That's it.
Okay.
So if I go back to, let me see. If you can bring up some of those pictures, because I have a little story, I just want to see people kind of chronologically roll with me.
Okay, I'm gonna bring him up right now. Family, if you want to get on his mailing list, his email list for the book, because it's finished. He now just is about to release it. You can please get on his email list at dejurelaw33@gmail.com. DEJURELAW33@gmail.com. And also, somebody put his Cash App in the chat for me in case you want to drop him a blessing, because he gonna bring the fire today. You can send it to $ all rights reserved. All right, let's get into this transition of power. So who's in power today before we talk about transitioning to who it's going to?
Well, it's your government that's in power right now.
Okay.
So part of what's happening is, you remember I said that God's covenant is to restore you back to Area 51.
Mm-hmm.
Area 51 is the 50 states plus Washington, D.C. That's
right.
50 plus 1, right?
Okay.
So that's what the whole thing is. So 10 means God's promise and God's word. So if you take the number 10, that's why people are seeing X's in the sky. These airplanes are making airplanes are making X's in the sky. Well, X is Roman numeral 10, right? And X, if you fly over a pyramid, it looks like an X from below, right?
Wow.
So
yes,
that's God's promise and God's word. So you take 10 plus 41, and you got 51. That's God's covenant and God's word, which is the ark of the covenant, right?
Okay. Yes.
And if you think about the ark, right, as in Noah's ark, watch this, Noah's ark, that's NA. N is 14, A is 1, that's 141. So they're letting you know you're transitioning from this ideology of white supremacy to our people being back in power. And they said that the ark in the Bible was 51 cubits wide or tall, and 510 cubits in length, right?
Okay.
That's Area 51, right?
Wow. Yes. Yes.
Right. So when Martin Luther King got shot down, before he got shot down, he said, "Hey, I've been to the promised land. I've been to the mountaintop and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but one day we're gonna get to the promised land." So when he got shot down right there in Egypt, in Memphis, right? But on the other side of the Nile River is the Ark, as in Arkansas, which is Area 51, 501.
Wow.
Right? That's the Ark of the Covenant, which is your promised land. Okay. So you have to understand, on one side, on the eastern side of the Nile, is 41% of the United States. 41. But your covenant, which would be the 59 others, the 59% of the rest of the states, that's what you're entitled to when God restores us back to our land. Okay. Now I can prove this because I just said 141 means you're transitioning from white supremacy to the king. So now you can go into the Bible verse. If you can, bring it up. Isaiah, I'll send it in your link.
Okay, so I was trying to figure out which one to go first, which link. It's the scripture that you sent first?
Yeah, you can, just bring up anything because I'm going to tie all this together.
Okay, let me show you what I have. Let me go ahead and bring it back up. This one looks like a roll call vote. Is that okay to start with that?
That's fine. Hey, bring that up.
Okay, here we go. Thank you for chiming in, family. Hit the like button. We have 513 people in the chat. Hit the like button as you enter the room. Show the Sheik some love. All right, Sheik.
Enlarge that.
Okay.
Look at the roll count. Yay, 51 as in Area 51.
What?
But look at what they're calling it. The Save America Act.
Where's that at? Oh, here it is. Oh, Senate set to vote on the SAVE Act. What?
Right?
Okay, yes.
Save America.
Wow.
And on the right, you see the single 5-pointed star. What is that?
Right here?
Yeah. Morocco.
Yes.
They put it right in your face. And everything is in 3. So they got to vote on it 3 times for it to be official. To save America.
Wow.
To save Area 51.
Now, do they do?
Go ahead.
Do they do that on purpose? Like, did they actually vote 51 to 48, or is this all a show?
Yeah, because check this out. And I don't know, did I leave you? What happened to me? Oh, let me
Oh,
come back.
what happened to you? Hold on. I don't
Okay.
know. Wait a minute.
I don't know what happened. But anyway,
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see where you are.
I think it's
Oh
on
my
your
goodness.
end.
It's got to be on my end. Hold on. Let me get out of here. Okay. Sheik, we don't see your face. I put you on the on device not connected. Why does it say his device isn't connected? Sorry, we lost the Sheik family. Sheik?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, it said device not connected.
They're listening. Okay, now you ready?
But I don't see your face.
I was there just a second ago. Okay.
Wow, can y'all believe this? YouTube don't want to. Okay, we still don't see your face. You're on now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, somebody said you may have to close out and come back in. We hear you, but don't see you.
Hold on.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm going to send you another link just in case.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, here we go. Oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be. No. Mercy, mercy me. I sent you another link, Sheik.
Okay. Let me go in.
They said you were a glitch. Somebody said your camera may be off.
No, it's on.
It's on?
Everything is working on my end.
Did you get the other link? Y'all think it's what he said? Yes, Canada was a part of the United States, was a part of North America before. It sure was. Okay. There you go. Sheik? Oh my gosh, it's all fuzzy. So, are you there?
I'm here.
So, the camera, excuse me. I don't know who's calling me. The camera looks all
I know.
Can you see that?
I see all the little squiggly lines and stuff.
Yes. What's
You
that?
don't want me to talk to you.
Oh, now my phone's talking to me. What in the world is going on?
How are they doing that?
I don't know. Are you on? Oh, yeah, I see your face, but it's all squiggly.
Well, if they don't mind just listening to my voice, I'll roll.
You roll? Okay. Also, do you want to try and come in from another device, or you good?
Hey, that's just I'm low on my battery.
Oh, okay. They said the camera was glitching when you came on.
Yeah, I know. They don't want to hear this.
Mm-mm.
They don't want me to tell my story.
Which makes it more powerful, Sheik.
I know. Because it's about to get better.
Ooh.
Let me see if I can this way.
Okay. Yeah. Somebody says they know you. Yeah, they know him. They say if you can't show your face, they want to hear this anyway. Brother Kenneth, I've never been a great singer, but I love to sing. I think let me say, God knew what God was doing by not letting me be able to sing, okay? Because I'd be something else. I probably wouldn't be telling the truth. I'd be on somebody's stage right now trying to be cute. Sheik, you're back.
I'm doing it from my phone.
Okay, awesome. It's working.
Sorry, y'all. Okay, so the last thing where I left off was about the whole Area 51 thing, right?
Yeah, and I was saying, yes. I was asking you something, but I can't remember what I was asking.
So if everybody's really wondering about the gas prices shooting up the way they are,
yes,
it's all symbolism.
What?
Yeah. Okay. They're going to shoot up to $5.10, letting you know that God's promise is to restore you back to Area 51.
Wow.
They do it in symbols.
Okay.
That's what it is. So if y'all can just lay low for a few days, this thing is going to pass over.
Right around Passover season.
Right around Passover. So what God is about to come in and do, he's going to fix things and put us back in our rightful positions.
Okay.
Right. Now that means government. That means your police departments. That means all the Illuminati stuff. All that stuff got to get out of here. And, whatever else that's been holding you back. I don't care if it's insurance companies, mortgage companies, banks, and the IRS. All that stuff has been stuff to suppress us. Because the reason why they've been talking about, doing away with property taxes, because when everything is restored back to America, Americans can't be taxed on their own land.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But if you're a U.S. citizen, you can be. But now, check this out. On April the 1st, which is what? 41.
41, yes.
Right? April the 1st, and that's when they're going to start talking about this whole thing with birthright citizenship in the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Now, what they're doing is they're going all the way back to your ancestors, and I ain't talking about us, I'm talking about them, that were here illegally from 1866 on up. They were undocumented.
Right.
So anybody who was born here, other than the indigenous people, are also fruit from a poisonous tree. Meaning that they're undocumented as well. You are here illegally. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's why Trump is talking about the $5 million gold card, to give people who are here illegally an opportunity to come here the right way. You see what I'm saying? Yes. So therefore, if you come here, you're going to have to buy this $5 million gold card. And you have to pay taxes to the American people. You have to create jobs for the American people. And you have to follow the laws of the Americans. Right? That's what the whole thing is about. And you must maintain a $100,000 a year salary. And that $5 million gold card doesn't cover your entire family. That's for each one in your family. So if you have a wife and children, each one has to have a gold card to be here. Why do you think they've been adopting these little black babies? What? Because the baby has the birthright.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? And the same reason why you see in a lot of, I don't care who it is, people marrying our people, because we have the birthright. So by marrying in, you're assimilating to us. We're not assimilating to them. They're assimilating to us.
I knew that's why the prince married this half sister.
Yeah, she has the birthright.
I was like, that's got to be about birthright. I wasn't even keen on all of what you know, but it just made sense.
But she was married outside. She was married to King George's. What's his name? St. George's Chapel, right? And right outside of St. George's Chapel, guess who they have the tomb of?
Who?
Pocahontas. Right? Wow. And every time you see, I told you, every time you see an H, it means a reversal. She was actually in St. George's Chapel. Inside of St. George's Chapel is really a damn near a mausoleum. Because that's where you have the buried kings and queens inside of that chapel. You remember when they did that with Queen Elizabeth? She wasn't outside on some graveyard. She was inside of a chapel. So when she crossed over, I'm talking about Meghan Markle now. She crossed over King Henry the VIII. It was a reversal. Henry is 8. And H is the 8th number is H. King Henry the VIII.
Wow.
So when she crossed over, they were letting you know then we are reversing energies. And everybody in that wedding proceeding, because it was all these men and all the men were wearing black. The only one who was wearing a different color was King Charles. He was wearing gray.
Okay.
She was the one wearing white. and her mother was wearing green, who represented what? Mother Nature.
Oh,
But
okay.
they were wearing black because they represented death. They're dead to you.
That's deep.
That wasn't a formality. They're dead to you. So when
Okay.
they had the reception, this is gonna be a trip. This all ties into that Disney thing with the Princess and the Frog.
Yes.
Tiana, she was the princess, and the frog's name was Harry. Like Meghan Markle, who did she marry? Harry.
Yeah.
Right? It was a reversal.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And when they had the wedding reception, and all this is in my book.
Okay.
It's one of them volumes. I don't know if it's going to be in 1, 2, or 3, but it's in there.
Okay.
But in there, when they had the wedding reception, it was at a place called Frog's Moor. The frog kissing the moor.
Wow.
And everybody can cross-reference everything I'm saying. Y'all can look it up. You'll see it.
I have a question for you. Greetings, Cheek Mac. We see you in the back room. Thank you for chiming in. God bless you, Cheek. And thank you for sending me a blessing today, Chief. I didn't get to call you. Thank you so much. Sheik Bay, you were talking about birthright citizenship. What happens if people are here? What happens to the ones that don't know where they came from, where they originated from?
Okay, so Donald Trump was talking about what? The U.S. moving to Greenland? Because now the United States has to be part of the green land. It can't be part of the sea. It has to be part of the land.
Right.
So they're preparing for all these U.S. citizens, not Americans. Y'all better understand there is a difference between the two. The Americans are the indigenous people. Okay. The U.S. citizens. Y'all gotta watch that movie Us by Jordan Peele. Okay. You know, when he had that movie out, and those people who were dressed in the red jumpsuits, they said we're the Americans. Right? Okay. They were the indigenous ones. That's why the little girl had all these incredible powers, because she hadn't been vaccinated by this government. You know, the vaccinations were suppressing certain things in your body, right? So you wouldn't be able to tap into whatever you were supposed to be, you know, inherently born with. They just killed all that. But they said they're the Americans. So we're the Americans, the U.S. citizens. They're the ones that end up having to go to Greenland. That's why we're getting Greenland? Okay. Yeah. Because in Europe, they're saying that they don't have a power grid that's strong enough to hold all the people that are going to have to be coming from the Americas. The ones that are about to be deported. This stuff about to get real. When I say real, look, I started off when I started talking about the whole thing with the ceremony with King's Tut resurrection. You and I did a show about that. Yes. And they began that right after the day of Halloween. Halloween is on 10/31. 10 and 31 is 41. And H is a reversal as in Halloween. So then they did it on November 1st. And from November 1st to 3/22. That's 2 days from now. Okay. Yeah. It's exactly 141 days. Woo. 141. That's why it's called Skull and Bones, because now they're dead to you forever. Wow. It's over. And it gets deeper than that. Okay. If you go into it's over. If you can look up Isaiah, it gets deeper than that. Hold on, I got feedback. Okay. That was you. Okay, so if you look up Isaiah 14:1, and I sent you a link to it. Oh, but Isaiah 14:1 through 4, verses 1 through 4. It's going to tell you exactly what's going on. 14:1 is 141. We're transitioning. Okay, let me see if I can find the link you sent me. It must be on another one. This is very deep. When you were talking about people are going to go back to their homes and the grid is not strong enough in Europe to take all the people, it
reminded me of an article, and I'm gonna look up the scripture too. It reminded me of an article that I found that said that a lot of the South Africans, the South Afrikaners, the farmers that were trying to flee South Africa, some of them had come here, right? But now they're saying we're getting up out of here. We don't want to be under Trump's America. In Trump's, I was like, what? They were like, we don't want to be in Trump's America. Some of them are saying America's too violent, or we don't want to be in this country anymore. And I said, there's something behind that. They're not just running from America for no reason.
No.
But these are the South Afrikaners, the Caucasian farmers.
They're leaving before people are forced to be deported. Only the true indigenous people are entitled to stay. Even Homeland Security, where they had the girl Christy Noam, who was over Homeland Security. Well, she was replaced with the guy named Mark Wayne something. I forgot his last name, but he was a Cherokee.
You told us that the other day.
Yeah, he's part of the Cherokee Nation.
Wow. Here's what you were. Go ahead.
Everybody with people who are indigenous. Oh yeah, there you go. And there's a link to that though. There's a link to that scripture. If you look for the link, do you see it in there?
Okay. It says I'm gonna look at even Gentiles know last Exodus is coming. Nations will take and escort them to their homes. Isaiah 14:1. Oh my God.
Right.
Okay, let me see if I can find a link. The link to this.
It'll be
there. Yeah, can you resend it, please? Because I don't see the link.
It's in that same.
Wow. Okay, I see this. Oh, wait, it's on top of that Bible verse. You got it. Okay.
There you go.
Hold on. All right, I'm bringing it up right away, straight away. I'm glad we got started a little early because I see you got some juicy links here.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Okay, here it is. Shall we read it?
Go ahead.
Is that it? Can you see it?
All you have to do is read it.
Isaiah 14:1-4.
Yeah.
The Lord will have compassion on Jacob.
Jacob
It's glitching. Okay. The Lord will have compassion on Jacob. Once again, he will choose Israel and will settle them in their own land. Foreigners will join them and unite with the descendants of Jacob. Nations will take them and bring them to their own place. And Israel will take possession of the nations and make them male and female servants in the Lord's hand. They will make captives of their captors. Lost my place. And rule over their oppressors. Verse 3. On the day the Lord gives you relief from your suffering and turmoil and from the harsh labor forced on you, you will take up this taunt against the king of Babylon. How the oppressor has come to an end. What?
Do you hear
How
me?
his fury has ended.
Right.
Woo!
Now, what are we talking about with Israel? We're talking about that right now. And the oppressors are going to be now your servants and your handmaids.
My.
This is real.
My. This is real.
You feeling me? So now, like I said, that's 141. That's the transition in power, right? They did it again today. Donald Trump had this whole thing. You can pull up some of the pictures so your people can listen and see this at the same time.
Okay. Which email?
Well, the same feed that I just sent you. You can start with the very first picture.
Oh, you just sent it to me just now?
No, you just pulled it up.
The 41? That one? Okay. The one after the town of Morocco, that one?
Do that.
Okay.
Roll with that. Just go ahead. I'm going to roll with this. It doesn't matter what you do. I got it.
You got it. Lord have mercy. Okay. Town of Morocco.
I'm put people out on this. Okay. You are enlarge that if you don't mind.
Okay.
All right. That's Morocco, Indiana. Dr. Key, if you don't mind, read that at the bottom of Morocco.
Home of Hoosier hospitality.
How many H's do you see?
One, two, three. You always say everything in threes. One, two,
H,
three.
H, H. It's a reversal, right?
Yes.
Now, to the next picture. This is Morocco, Indiana, y'all. So they've been known all along that the Moors are the true, Indiana is the heartland. Okay, enlarge that one. This is going to get even better.
Okay. Let me get back there. Oh, Lord, I see the number already. This is crazy.
You see that?
Right here. Wait, where am I?
That's fine. That's fine. 11-4, right?
Yes.
All right, now. I'm out to educate y'all. The date of the Treaty of Tripoli was done on November the 4th. That's 11-4, y'all. 1789 with the Moors.
Can you refresh our memory on the Treaty of Tripoli?
That was the treaty of the Barbary Moors in 1789 with the United States. That's the main treaty that they've been violating all this time. Knowledge or whatever, but that's that's the first treaty that the United States recognized.
Okay, I'm coming back. Okay.
All right, so you can go to the next picture.
And it says Morocco right next to it.
It surely does.
Let me see. Okay. I'll bring this next one. Oh, that didn't bring it up. Hold on. Hit the like button, family, and show some love to Sheik Jacob Bay. Send him a cash app at $ all rights reserved. All right, what's this?
Y'all see those hats?
Yes.
You see the single 5-pointed star?
Right on the top of the hat.
Yeah. They know what this is. It's red and green. Moroccan. That's the Morocco flag. Now, here's the part that's really going to trip y'all out. Because if Morocco, Indiana first got its name in the year 1841. But they said it was actually founded in the year 51, which is God's promise and God's word to restore you to Area 51, which is Morocco.
Wow. Now, what is this? Is this a meeting of some sort?
I don't know. That's just, some of those people who are living in the town of Morocco.
Oh, okay.
They put all those signs and symbols right in your face, and you don't even know what the hell is really going on because, you just not seeing things for what they are.
Right.
Giving you a lesson right in your face. They know, and they trying to keep you from being able to know because they keep you with all this fake news and entertaining you with your mind and all that stuff. And while your mind is distracted watching sports and everything else, and looking at whatever you're looking at, you're not looking at what's really in front of you with the way this world has, not just the world, but the Americas has really been laid out. And they laid it out by your highways, your street signs, and everything else. People don't realize when you go from east to west, all the highways are even numbers, but when you go north to south, everything is odd.
Wait a minute, I don't see you. Okay, hold on. How come I don't see you now? Let me stop this.
I can see you. I'm here.
Oh, okay. I can see you now.
Okay. So even go ahead.
Did you want me to go to the next one, or you want to?
Please, we can keep rolling. This is gonna be good.
Okay, let's see.
In fact, y'all, when I was talking about Isaiah 14:1, when they had Jesse Jackson's funeral, guess who was one of the speakers?
Who?
Isaiah. As in Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah. Wow.
So they were letting you know at the funeral because I said God's covenant is to restore you to Area 51. And the whole thing with Jesse Jackson, his name is Jesse Lewis Jackson Sr. JLJS. J is 10, L is 12, that's 22. J is 10, that's 32, and S is 19. 19 and 32 is 51 as an Area 51, and that's why he had the Rainbow Push Coalition, and the rainbow is God's covenant to restore you to Area 51.
Wow.
So today, check this out. Today, they released the movie Wicked, right?
Yes.
For good, right? For good. G-O-O-D. G is 7, O is 15, O is 15, D is 4. 7. So you got 7 plus 15 and 15. 15 and 15 is 30, and you got 7, that's 37, and D is 4. 37 and 4 is 41, right?
Okay.
Now, why they release it today? Because I said it's the transition in power today, and they have to break the spells. That's why the whole thing with Wicked came out today.
Wow.
On Peacock. Peacock is the rainbow thing. You remember? You remember NBC had the Peacock with the different colors?
I do. Yes.
That's it. Breaking spells.
Breaking spells.
You can keep rolling whatever. Oh, yeah, you go. That's the one. All right, now y'all gonna trip on this. I don't know how large you can make that picture, Dr. Kia.
Okay.
If you can make it any larger than that, that would be good. I don't know if you can.
I think this. Okay, wait a minute. It's getting larger. It's getting larger. President Trump delivers remarks on March 11th. Do I need to see that at the top or no?
Stop right there where you see the little numbers on the left, bottom left.
Bottom left.
You bypass.
Okay, hold on.
Mine is you went too far. Come back. Okay, there you go. There you go. All right, so at exactly 15:14, he said the word King Tut. That's why I highlighted the captions. It got the end of Kentuckian, but right there, 15:14 in the video, in his speech, he said King Tut was speaking from Hebron, Kentucky. And Hebron is a Hebrew word. That's another H, y'all. It's reversal. But he said it at exactly 15:14. I want y'all to understand, H means a reversal, as in Hebron, Kentucky. And if you reverse 15:14, you got what? 41:51.
Yes, you do.
41 means king, and 51 is your promise to your land being restored. And he said King Tut. And I said in your first video that King Tut was actually buried in Kentucky.
You did. And we talked about Kentucky, King Tut. And they're just showing us in the word Kentucky.
That's it.
That's deep.
And they have a clock. Just so you know, when Trump gives a speech and all these other folk giving speech, they have a clock right in front of them, and they time their words about certain things that they must say and have to say, so they can give you kind of full disclosure of what's going on about things being returned to you, and everything is a ritual, everything. Okay. But they do it in coded messages. So you can go to the next picture if you don't know.
You know what this makes me think of? We've been waiting on an emergency broadcast system announcement.
Correct.
Or EBA or EBS. But all this really is the announcement. I'm like, I don't know if we are going to have an actual announcement. This is an announcement. This is a presidential announcement. You really, if you know how to read the codes, we are actually being given the information.
That's it.
Okay, let me see.
The entire time.
The entire time. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next one. And that might have been the last of those. Nope. You got more. Okay.
That's Isaiah right there.
Wasn't he a basketball player?
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas. Okay.
He's speaking at Jesse Jackson's funeral.
Interesting.
You see how I said Jesse Lewis Jackson Sr.? Letting you know, JLJS is Area 51.
Wow. Yeah. Basketball Hall of Famer.
Right.
ABC 7. Okay. Next.
Right. ABC is 41 times 3. ABC is 123. That's 41 times 3.
Wow.
Everything in threes. 41 times 3 is 123, y'all. ABC. ABC easy as 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3 and me.
Yeah.
DNA test.
23 and me.
23 and me. Okay, I don't know why I said 1, 2, 3.
23 and me, ME, 23 plus M is 13, and 23, that's what, 36, and then you got E is 5. 36 and 5 is 41.
Wow.
And then they talk about DNA. DNA is 4, and then you got 14 and 1, 41, 41. They did it in threes.
Wow.
It's in the book, y'all.
Can't wait to get the book. Okay, let's see what's next. Let me see what's next. Tell me how y'all feeling, family. What you think about this? It's pretty revealing. Okay. Oh, okay.
It's deep. I got some more for y'all too. It's going to get better.
Let me go ahead and bring this up. Hit the like button as you enter the room, family. Thank you for coming in, checking in, and supporting our Sheik. Okay, here we go.
All right, that's Jesse Jackson's being carried off in a horse and carriage, right?
Okay.
Now, didn't I tell you every time you see an H and a C, it's a reversal in the power of 3?
You told us that.
HC. H as in horse, C as in carriage.
Oh, Lord. Are they that detailed?
Yes, they are, because then they switched it up, and then he was carried off in a hearse. But guess what kind of car it was?
Chevrolet, Cadillac.
There you go. HC.
Stop it. I knew it had to be a Cadillac because he's a brother.
Yeah.
Brothers love the Cadillacs.
They reversed
okay.
Sales, y'all.
Whoa.
You go to the next one.
Is this it? Did it come up? Yes. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay.
So look at the flags. And it's called what? The hostage flags. They did that 3 times, right?
1, 2, 3. Yes.
Black and gold.
Black and yellow. Black and yellow. What's that represent?
H. They were reversing spells.
What's HHH? I don't get it.
Hostage. And then they raised the flag. Then you know that they're reversing the spells. They raised that flag in front of the White House.
Which
right?
hostages?
That's the same. That's the same flag. It's different though in front of the post office because we were prisoners of war under the United States government.
Okay.
Right? Prisoners of war. Think about that acronym. Okay. That's POW. Now, I ain't going to break down nothing numerology on that, but I am going to say POW as in what did I say about Pocahontas and the tribe? It was called the Powhatan. They were the original prisoners of war, the POW. That's why you call it powwow.
Oh.
But we're the ones with the power.
Power. Okay.
And we're no longer the prisoners of war. That's why they raised that flag.
Somebody says they noticed no fringe on the flag.
That's correct.
That's flag. True. Whoa. No gold flag. Fringes. So what does it mean when there's no gold fringes?
That means it's peace.
Peace time. Okay. The gold fringes are gone. Do we know which hostage situation this is?
We're the hostages. But they're returning the hostages back to the land.
I see.
That's what it means. It's time to restore these hostages back to their land.
Speaking of returning hostages, do you remember the 1979 crisis? What is it? Hostage crisis situation with Iran? They let go of African Americans and they said, we stand with the oppressed peoples.
I don't remember that, but I do remember many hostage situations where, they used to think that they didn't want us as hostages because we had no value. No, it's just the opposite. They knew that we were the ones who were the heirs to the land. See, think about it. When Noble Drew Ali was invited to, he was the only one from the Americas invited to Havana, Cuba, back in 1928. Why? Because they knew that he was the one who had the true rights to govern the Americas, not the Secretary of State. Right?
What? Okay.
The Secretary of State was not invited. And what did I say about an HC? As in Havana, Cuba? It's reversal.
Yes, sir.
So you can go to the next one.
Okay. See if I can find the next one. Okay. I might have to bring it up on your end. I see it on my end. Oh, there it is. Okay. You see that?
There you go. There you go. Right there. So that secretary. Now watch how they're doing this. I want you to look at the men on the podium.
Okay.
That's Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, and on the right side of him is General Dan Kane, as in Raising Cane. By the HC.
I see another HC. This is so deep.
Hegseth and Kane, HC, y'all. And they did it 3 times. The 3rd time was done this morning. Okay. So they're reversing spells right here in front of your face. And Dan, D-A-N, is 4114. D is 4, A is 1, N is 14. That's 41 forward and 41 in reverse. They're reversing spells.
Yes. How are we supposed to know all that? Or maybe we aren't. Maybe that's why we have you to help us.
And I'm going to make sure that when I get that book out, I'm going to do it in 5 volumes. And I want everybody to hold on to those volumes so you can pass them down generationally. Because we have to know what they did to us to put us into captivity. And so we know not to ever fall back into that trap again.
You know, I have a question for you about captivity and being released from captivity, but should we go on? Should I hold it to question and answer period?
Ask me the question. I'm good.
So there is some conversation about whether or not we'll be liberated unless we fill out some paperwork. You have to claim your status. I'm not to cause any confusion with different communities, but what is your personal opinion on whether or not people have to claim their status in order to be free or to receive benefits?
So the only problem I have with that, and I hope, some of the Moorish brothers and sisters don't be hating on, but the only problem I have with that is we're really trying to get the United States corporation to recognize us. Why? If the United States is a dead entity, it's a corporation, as in corpse, C-O-R-P, corpse, as in corporation. If it's a corpse and it's dead, it can't recognize nothing that you do with your paperwork. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Dead can't recognize the living. Only the living can recognize the dead.
Glory.
Because we know you dead. We're going to put you in the ground. Okay. And we pray that you go on to wherever you got to go.
Yeah, they're dead and they won't even exist anymore.
Correct. So your real identity is because they let you know
your real identity. We missed it. What you say?
Your real identity is your skin tone.
Now, what about our brothers and sisters that don't share the same skin tone, but they have the blood?
That too.
Okay.
That too.
We had a lot of intermixing.
We do. Like I said, that's why they're trying to assimilate to us now, so they can make sure they can stay here.
It's the same with people that come here from different places and have children on the land. They're trying to stay here through the child. They think that their child connects them to the land, but that's even being challenged.
They showed you that on the Roseanne Barr show. You remember Roseanne?
I do.
And when they came back and brought that show back about 10, 15 years later, they had a little black girl on there. And they were showing you that because they were assimilating to her versus the other way around.
Okay.
That's the whole thing with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. They were adopted, and Madonna. adopting those black babies, so the babies had the birthright and they could stick around.
And a lot of us saw that too. We weren't like, oh, that's so cute and benevolent. We're like, no, you're trying to lay claims to the land, even if we didn't even know exactly what was going on. You just had that gut feeling that they were trying to lay claims to the land, and you knew, you could just feel that things were being reversed, because all of a sudden everybody's getting black babies. Intermarriage is being promoted on television. Interracial marriage. You see a lot of sisters now that leading roles. I was like, this seemed a little peculiar.
But let me go back to your earlier question about, do we need paperwork?
Yes.
The thing is, if they're breaking all this stuff down, and I'm talking about Department of Education, I'm talking about the IRS, I'm talking about your government, I'm talking about all these other entities, they're breaking all this stuff down.
Yes.
Where is the paperwork going to go?
Oh, weren't they saying you have to put it in a courtroom or something at some courtroom? But the courtrooms are going to be done away with. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because it's going back to common law and it's going back to the Republic, and they have to recognize the treaties. That's why they're talking about. Why you think they're talking about Dred Scott all of a sudden?
They are.
Right?
Yes.
And where was Dred Scott? In St. Louis. But if you know anything about where the courthouse was, where they had the whole Dred Scott case, it was done. There's a big old statue of him in front of the St. Louis Ark. People don't understand what the Ark really means. It's when you're dead, it's the Ark gives the souls a way to travel out. That's what the Ark is. Right? That's how we traveled out. So if you're dead, when I say this, if you're dead, and I'm not saying physically dead, I'm saying dead in the eyes of the law, right? And we all been dead in the eyes of the law. So if you think about St. Louis, the area code of St. Louis is 314. Reverse it, what you got? 43. So they're letting you know you're dead as long as you're a U.S. citizen. That's 14. You belong to us. 314. That's the area code. I can't make it up.
You can't. And a lot of people have asked me, have you done your paperwork? And I thought about it many, many times. It made sense under the old way to an extent, but I was still like, why do I have to prove who I am to these people? But now that everything's being reversed, I'm like, if they're being destroyed, they're defunct, they're bankrupt, they're being dismantled, they need to be proving something to me.
and like I said, why you think they shutting down all these airports, Dr. Kia?
Come with it.
They're shutting it down because you're not going to be able to have your so-called white privilege like you used to.
What's that?
It's over. They're shutting this down. And I said everything in threes. You showed it on your show the other day. 300 TSA workers.
300 TSA workers. Yes, they quit.
And more of these airports are doing the same thing, right? Because you're not going to be able to be just traveling around, having your spring break, having all your fun, and kicking it on this land like that, right?
Hallelujah.
Right? And if you don't have the workers there, you ain't going nowhere. Someone just mentioned Denver Airport. What's the acronym for Denver Airport, y'all? DA. D is 4, A is 1, 41. They shut it down.
Wow. So are we still going to have airports, or this is symbolic?
No, this is temporary. Like I said, the Passover. You got to let God's wrath and God's word pass over you while he takes this stuff down. And he's really taking it down. Because see, the next thing that's going to happen when they have that Skull and Bones date, which is just 2 days from now, they're going to start easing a lot of people up out of here. You're going to start hearing them talking about deportations.
Mm.
Nobody on here listening to this freaking out, because this ain't about you, but it is about you. It's
Yes,
about
it is.
your land back.
I just had to show Passover begins April the 2nd, and you just said something important about April the 4th. That's 41. The next day is 42, and all of these shutdowns is happening, like you said. All this stuff
Okay,
is
now
happening.
42. Didn't I say white supremacy is 14 and everything in threes?
Yes.
3 times 14 is what? 42.
42. Mm.
I'm showing y'all what's going on.
Mm.
Passover, who they coming after?
Somebody said, ease on down the road. Do. Ease on down.
So check this out. 3 days after Skull and Bones, because everything in threes.
Okay.
That's 3, 2. You're going to have 325, 26. 325, 26. 25 and 26 is 51, and everything in threes. That's when you're going to be restored back to your land. Area 51. 3, 25, 26.
Mm. Mm. Come on through here.
You can show another picture if you don't mind. I won't keep telling.
Okay. Family, if you are enjoying this, please get on Sheik Bay's book list. You can send him an email to get on his book list at dejurelaw33@gmail.com. That's DEJURELAW33@gmail.com. And if you want to send him a blessing, a gift, hey, and a love offering as we would do in the church, because this is a church meeting. This is a meeting of the minds, a spiritual meeting. I won't say church, okay? Then you can send him a blessing or a donation to $ all rights reserved. Thank you so much for over 900 people being in the room. Hit the like button and show the Sheik some love.
Thank you, y'all.
This is deep. Okay, we got to that. We got past that one here.
Yeah.
And let me go on to the next one.
Yeah, I'm not going to even have to explain.
Here's the next one.
You see what he's saying? That's Donald Trump in the middle, because he was restoring everything back to the Americas. Right?
Shield of the Americas.
Now, what I want you to pay attention to, y'all, I told y'all that 46 means a transition in power. Right?
Yes.
Dr. Kidd, you know better than anybody because you're in Jacksonville, Florida. Where's Doral?
It's in Florida, isn't it?
Yes. And Doral is DF, as in Doral, Florida. D is 4, F is 6. 46 means a transition in power.
Oh, what?
Doral, Florida. D is 4, S is 6. That's 46. He's letting you know.
Now, what's the shield of the Americas? Do we know yet?
That's like a coat of arms for the American people.
And it say Americas, so he must be talking about North, Central, and South.
Correct. Everything in threes. North, Central, South.
Come on through here. Wow. All righty then.
You go on to the next. We're going to keep this rolling, y'all.
Okay. Let me get out of here. See what's next. Come on, family. Keep chiming in. This is good. Let's see what the next one is. Okay, sorry about that. I don't see another one on this.
Okay, go on to the next one because we're going to keep this rolling.
Okay. Hit that like button, family. Show us some love and some appreciation. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, I got that one out the way. I'm going through all these email.
Oh, you got so much email in you. Okay. Yeah. Why don't you just go ahead? Okay, there you go. You went to a new one. Okay. You can pop that open. This happened today, y'all.
Okay, let me do it a little bigger. Okay.
All right, so that's when Donald Trump had the whole ceremony for the Navy football team, right?
Okay.
I want you to see in the boy's hand on the left, right? he's holding the football that says the word Navy.
Yes.
N-A, and then you got V. Don't even worry about the Y, because V, as in V-Y, is V. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And V, y'all, means Egypt of the West. It's the inverted pyramid.
Oh, sure is the inverted pyramid. Okay.
Right? Nay, N-A, like I said, is N is 14, A is 1. 141, and then you got the inverted pyramid. Right?
Okay.
Now they transition into power. You see who's in the middle?
I was trying not to make this about him, but he's right in front and center.
Right?
Yes.
And then Trump is holding what? A copper-colored what? Helmet. CH, copper helmet.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
CH, a reversal.
Okay. And is that why they got a brother right here?
Yeah, that's showing you who the power goes to. Now, next picture. It's going to get better, y'all. Everything in threes. How many balls you see?
1, 2, 3 balls.
3 balls, right?
3 balls. We like balls. Okay.
You don't do that. All right. Now.
I mean footballs. And they copper. And they copper.
Right. And then you had the copper cut on the right is what? The copper helmet. CH.
We keep telling people don't sleep on copper.
Right. Don't sleep on the copper.
And copper was just added to the United States critical minerals list. Beautiful. And we got the gold right here. Oh, this particular flag does have the gold fringe. Hey, White House, y'all need to remove that one.
Well, it's all being done. And Trump signed an executive order today saying that, saying that the Army and Navy football game is going to be the only game on the second week of December to be played, right?
Okay.
You ain't going to have no Ole Miss and no Georgia and none of that. You're going to only have Army and Navy. Why? Because he's letting you know every year it's about the Moors. See, if you do Army, Navy, A-N is A is 1, N is 14. That's 114, which is 11-4, the Treaty of Tripoli.
Oh my God.
That's what he did today, y'all.
Right in front of us.
Right in front of us. You go to the
next. Okay, that was the end of that one. Let me come on in. How do you catch all this? Well, I tell you, this is amazing. Okay, here we go. We got a few more coming. I think we did this one. Okay.
Okay, there you go. Oh, okay. Now, this brother is the coach of the Navy football team.
Okay.
Right? Dr. Sheik. I want you on the in the middle on the right. I want you to see where he went to high school.
Westmore. More.
West, as in Egypt of the West, and more.
Like, how do they get that meticulous? Like, do they plan all this out?
Hell yeah. They've been doing it.
Okay.
That's why Sinners won Best Actor, and they got 5 Oscars. 5 means the 5 civilized tribes, and Sinners is like, hey, we're no longer dealing with that kind of sin, right?
What?
And the vampire was from Ireland, and they just had St. Patrick's Day the other day. Why did they have St. Patrick's Day? It was 1,000 years since the first St. Patrick's Day. Dang, this stuff gets deep, y'all. And that's when they took to Chicago. What's that? They got where the water goes through the city, and they got the little bridges and all that. They made it all green because everything got to turn green back to the land.
Back to the land. This is good.
We're good.
Next one. Okay. We're good. We're good. Okay. Let me see. Now that everything's being returned back to the land, that doesn't mean that people are going to be like mistreated or anything, right? Because some people might think, oh no, a transition in power, those of us who were on top getting all these benefits, benefiting from these people, copper colored people being at the bottom. What does that mean for us that we're at the top? Like, are they people gonna mistreat us? Like, what does that mean?
Okay, so when we had to go through our trial period, and I told you on your other shows, a trial period means 40.
Yes.
40, like Jesus in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights. No ark for 40 days and 40 nights. Moses misleading the people for 40 years. Then, like I said, you had the death of Martin Luther King to the rise of Barack Obama from 68 to 2008. 40. It's a trial period, right?
Yeah.
So, and then 10 means God's promise and God's word. So 10 times 40 is 400. So that's the 400 years. That's our trial period. Okay.
Okay.
That's our trial period. And the reason why we had to have a trial period, God had to humble us. He had to humble you because he said, basically, and I hadn't talked to God, but I like to know what he sounds like. But I do believe that in 400 years of whatever we had to go through, he said, I have to humble you by stripping you down from everything. Meaning that, yeah, your family may be taken away. Yes, you might be sodomized. You might be without jobs. You may not be able to afford to take care of your family. You may be disrespected by your woman. You may have all this stuff going on. And civilization is going to keep on turning their heads to you, right? But the reason why, because when you come up out of those 400 years, you're going to know what it's like to be treated at the bottom. So you don't treat nobody else like they treated you.
Come on. I love that. I love that. Thank you. That's encouraging. Hi, Donald Jones. He says, I can tell you what I heard. What you hear, brother? Put it in the chat. Okay, let me bring up this next one. Oh, somebody sent something. Thank you for the gift. Oh, Sister Cleo, one of our members of the Soul Tribe, the membership group, private group. Hi, Sister Cleo. It's good to see you.
I'm going to grab my charger. Let me get my phone charger. And then
okay. Spider-Man Brand New Day, 7/31/2026. Is that a movie? Okay, we got to watch that. July 31st. Thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate you. Yes. Can't wait for the 1-year celebration of freedom of humanity. Oh my God. Like I said in the beginning of the show, family, I am so tired. I'm tired of humanity going through all of this psychological warfare, all of the rhetoric about racism, sexism, classism. I'm ready for it to just be over. All the poverty we've endured. We need this to be over, family. Yes, I am enjoying Sheik Bay. They say, come on with it. If you would like to send him a donation or a offering, you can send it to $ all rights reserved. That's his cash app.
Let me get that one.
Okay, $ALLRIGHTSRESERVED. Thank you, family. Thank you for whatever you send. Also, thank you so much for sending him an email, particularly if you want to be on the waiting list for his book that's coming up, the Copper King, the Copper King's Transition in Power. What are we talking about today?
Yes, we talking about it, y'all. This is going to be the last chapter of the book, y'all. What I'm really talking about today and what's going to happen in the next few days, I'm going to go on and close out the book, and that's going to be the last or whatever. Unless we just have some real miraculous stuff going on that's going to make me needing to do a volume 6 worthy too. Because if people are really feeling it, I'll keep it going.
Gonna keep going.
Yeah.
I just want to say while you're doing that, thank you to Chief Mac, who sent me something earlier today. Thank you, family. You all really do keep me afloat. And thank you to Brother Philip Moore. He said, keep up the good work, Goddess. Oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And to my son, the economist of the Soul Tribe, Dex Lattimore, also sent me a gift. So thank you, Dexter Lattimore. All right, Sheik. And thank you also, Soul Tribe, for being here, for entering the room and being so polite in the comments section. We currently have 960 people in the chat. Please hit the like button and show us your gratitude by just telling us what your thoughts are here in the comments section. You know, I often have people, not often, but sometimes I have people when I talk about, thank you for the Cash App. Chief Mac, you just sent me another gift. Thank you so much, Chief Mac. I appreciate you. God bless you. Chief Mac always taking care of you, girl, making sure I eat so I don't struggle. I appreciate it, Chief. God bless you, Chief. Having a smile on you. Sometimes people wonder if it is being like reverse racist by talking about us being the original Americans and how everything is being returned back to us. You know, it makes sometimes people say that's an uncomfortable situation and they want to know why is that even important to bring up. We've all been enslaved all across the planet. Why bring up that people classified as Black or African American have been enslaved and, you know, colonized, and that this is the land of our ancestors and things. The power is transitioning. Most people don't, they're like, hey, whatever it takes for us all to be free, we're happy and we're glad for, you know, all of us. But then there are some people that they really want to know, why is this important?
I really can't answer that.
Okay.
No. That's not one of those that I really even, I don't know.
You don't care to address? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. I appreciate your honesty. Thank you. Sister Clea said St. P. Northwest of Chicago, Kanye West kids. What are you saying about Northwest?
Northwest is northwest of Mexico. And then he had another one named Chicago West, that as in where the Moorish, the land, right? Yeah. She's right on top of it when she said that. That's in my book too, y'all.
That's why he named her Northwest of Mexum.
Yeah.
Northwest Africa. So this is Northwest of Mexum, yes? Is that what
Correct.
they call this land?
Well, why do you think they call it America Express? The card that you get.
Yeah.
A Mexum. Amex. A Mex. Wow. America Express. A Mexum.
So that is a Mexum is the name of this landmass, one of the names.
That's one of them.
Wow.
You go by Turtle Island, you go by Marmerica, you go by Tumerica, you go by America. You know, hey, we from all over.
Wow. Thank you for bringing that up, Sister Cleo, and thank you for expounding, Sheik Bay.
Yeah, she's right on top of it.
She is.
And the land deed and all the land deeds to the Americas are in Cook County, Illinois. That's why Chicago is so important, and that's why Memphis is so important, because that's Upper and Lower Egypt.
Is Kanye from Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay. Botanica says Steven Spielberg new movie is called Disclosure Day. It comes out this summer.
It's DD. DD means death, like in Doomsday.
Oh.
That's why they got the new movie coming out this year called Dr. Doom. That's a Marvel movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Robert Downey Jr. is no longer playing Iron Man. He's now representing Dr. Doom, because the Iron Man who represented the industry, who represented the corporation, is no longer operating the corporation. He is now doomed. Dr. Doom.
You be bringing that fire.
Yeah.
Someone also said this is called the Northwest Gate as well.
Yeah.
And the Mexum is the Pangea. Oh, okay, makes sense.
Well, see, right there in Kentucky, and you should know this. You remember right there in Kentucky and Indiana, when they meet up, they have that Colgate clock, right?
Yep.
You remember that?
Yes, sir.
But most people don't realize why it was called Colgate. COL gate, color of law.
Wow. Everything right in our faces.
Yeah, color of law.
Mm.
Colonel Sanders, Cole, COL. Put it in
Mm.
Kentucky.
Put it in Kentucky.
King
Kentucky.
Tut. And if you look at the address for Kentucky Fried Chicken headquarters, I want to say it's 1441.
Mm. Let me look it up. Okay. You be on your stuff.
Because they putting it in your face.
Mm.
Because see, 1441, y'all, is the year of our solar return. 1441.
Okay. You be on it.
Did you get it? Put in headquarters.
You know what? I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I got it. I think we can just close out right here and call it the day.
Oh, that's funny.
Here it is. Corporate office, 1441 Gardner Lane. I know exactly where that is. Louisville, Kentucky, because I just left Kentucky. I raised my kids there. For 20 years I lived there. I know exactly where that is.
1441, the year of your solar return. Can't make it up. And like I told y'all in the last show, there's a KFC right in front of the Pyramid of Giza. Because they know what true Egypt is, and that's why you have a town called Egypt, Kentucky.
So when you say the year of your solar return, what are you saying?
That means that everything is restored back to you. Your land, your family, your tribal, all your tribal stuff, everything from your culture to whatever it was before colonization, your solar return. And even the ancestors are going to start tapping in, and you're going to see them returning too. And I don't know how. I don't know if they're going to be light beings or whatever, but you're going to see it. You're going to see it. And you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it more than you ever have in your life.
The return of our ancestors?
Because the thing is, what they tried to trick you on about death is we don't die. What Robin Harris say? We don't die, we multiply.
Multiply. Yes.
Because we don't die. You know, the body dies, right? Think about this. Why do you think they do autopsies?
Oh Lord, I'm scared to ask. Why?
Because they're trying to take your pineal gland.
Oh.
See, if they know, look, if you got shot in the heart, they know you got killed by shooting you in the heart. So why they got to go into your brain?
Come on.
Because see, even the pineal stays active 3 days after death. The death of the body. That's all I'm saying. Death of the body. So that's why they took that lady named Sally. What's her name? Sally Struthers, whatever. She was on that show, All in the Family. You remember back in the 70s and the early 80s, and she was going over to Africa talking about save these little African babies that had all the little flies on them and the swollen bellies and all that. All that was about was, if we can, get you all to believe that we need to save these children, right? Then we can get the African people to allow us to bring over medical supplies. Once we're able to bring in medical supplies, we can bring in food, water, and clothing. Now, once we have the permission to get that done, now we can bring in weapons. Right? Because it was a form of genocide. So instead of trying to say, once they brought in the medicine, though, the medicine wasn't to heal them babies, it was to kill them babies.
My God.
Right? Because see, once you kill the babies, then you can take the pineal gland and you can take that melanin. You can't manufacture melanin. You got to get it from the source, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why do you think all them people pulling up at Starbucks all the time? Because it's melanin in the coffee.
Man, when you told me that, I stopped going to Starbucks.
They're putting you in the coffee. Because think about it, and they're telling you too. Because y'all look up where the Starbucks is located. The headquarters are in King County. They're letting you know the king is in the Starbucks. King County, Washington. That's Seattle.
What about their other stuff, like they chai latte?
Drink that if you want to.
I'm scared now. I need to stay my tail at home.
You got any other pictures to bring up?
Yes, I do. I
Just
sure
roll.
do.
I didn't mean to freak you out. I'm sorry.
No. I haven't been drinking their coffee. I think their chai latte once since then, but they said they changed the flavors. I was like, and then I could hear you in the back of my mind. Oops, that's not the right one.
Our people represent the 8. 8 is what? Infinity. Infinity. But what's another thing for infinity? Immortality. Because we don't die. We don't die. Immortality, right?
More. Oh, yes.
Moors don't die. That's why everything you dealing with, talking about Moors. The mortuary, the morgue, the mortgage. They had to make the Moors dead. Even when they talk about you got a room, if you reverse the word room, what you got?
More.
Because everything is about you. When you got a house, let's say a home, HOME equal 41. What do you do to get into your house? You got to use a what? A key.
Right.
KEY equal 41. And they say king of the hill, you the king of, hill equal 41. Because it's the king's domain. Everything's been about you.
So were the indigenous people here conquered by the North African Moors that came from Europe?
Were we conquered from the Moors? Okay, so you had dirty Moors and you got some good Moors.
Okay.
And yeah, some of them from Spain did what they did. They got paid off to do what they did. But part of that too was part of prophecy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because part of it was they knew that we would have to be enslaved for a period of time. And we weren't going to really just do it to ourselves here, meaning the American people that were already here. We weren't going to do it to ourselves here. So it had to be another group to do it. And those were the ones that came from over the seas.
So when Christopher Columbus came,
he had a Moor.
And he probably was a Moor, was he?
They said he was swarthy, and swarthy means, brown skin, olive colored skin. And Spain, and you have to understand, Spain is right next to Morocco.
Yes.
Morocco of the East.
Okay.
They're neighbors. Literally.
The same year the Moors got kicked out of Spain, 1492 is the time they came here.
Right.
And it appears that they colonized us. They brought their slaves, many of whom were Europeans, here and put them, they put them in certain regions here in the Americas and then put them in certain positions to colonize us and make it seem like the Europeans or the Caucasians were actually doing all of the handling, but it was the dirty Moors that was handling them. That's what my understanding is. You help me out.
Yeah. So now you're talking about the whole Christopher Columbus thing, and he was given this assignment by Queen Isabella.
Okay.
And Queen Isabella said, "Look, when you go over there, we want you to because it was reported there's a lot of riches over in the Americas, right?
Okay.
So they were like, well, whatever you find, you're entitled to keep 10% of it.
Mm.
He had a finder's fee, 10%,
Okay. Okay.
right? So,
Okay.
right. So anything that you find in the Americas, and the Americas is the continent of North America, you got 10%. That's why Washington, D.C., which is called what? District of what?
Columbia.
Columbia, as in Columbus,
Wow.
is in a 10-mile radius, which is 10%.
Okay.
That's your 10%, right? Now, then then they have to establish Christianity over here. So they brought in all these churches. So that's why you're going to see a church every so many miles, 10 miles away from each other.
You sure do.
Right?
Yes.
And you're going to get 10%. How much they ask you to tithe?
10%. 10%. I'm sorry. You
10%.
can't make this up. You can't make
it
it up.
up. Right? Because you giving that back over to the crown.
Okay. Yes.
Now the churches are dirty with it because they said we want you to tithe, then we want to get you give us a gift and some other mess, right? Because they want to just keep taking your money. They don't care nothing. Because see, the role of the church is to preach 3 things every Sunday: love your neighbor, right? Then you must tithe, and you're going to get your salvation on the other side.
On the other side. That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Because right now they're the ones in control of Area 51. That's why they have a 501c3 as in Area 51, and C and 3 is 33. It's a that's I know. 33 is the highest Masonic number.
Okay.
Right. So they're the ones getting all the benefits off of your Area 51. And they're going to be going to jail too.
What, some of the pastors?
Oh yeah, it talks about false prophets in the Bible.
Sure does.
That they're going to fall. And what they did is on them. That ain't on us. Because they were able to get their little, private planes and limousines and mansions and all that stuff, robbing from the people. Ain't doing nothing to help you out of your utility bills or getting food on your table.
And it's sad too, because I grew up in church, and I've seen people complain, or heard some people complain, that have paid tithes for years, who need help, and some of them can't get help from some of their churches. Of course, all churches aren't like that, but some of them have complained that they haven't, after all the money they've given, and that's disgusting, honestly.
You know how you donate clothes to the church? A lot of those clothes don't ever reach the people that really need it.
No.
Those women in that church be going through them clothes and taking them home.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Most times it never reaches the people that need it.
That's sad. That's sad.
So
I've even seen people say that, they went to their churches and they had to get a loan if they needed something, which, I understand the concept of borrowing and paying back, but if people have given, like some people give like tens of thousands, you know what I'm saying? Then they get in trouble. They got to get a loan.
The church was first established to take away your land.
No.
Because they passed out them Bibles.
Okay.
So when they passed out, first they had to establish Christianity, then they had to put them Bibles out there, right? You have to understand, before colonization, we had our own beliefs and everything, and we prayed to the ancestors and the Most High in our own traditional way.
Absolutely.
We weren't going by a book, right?
Right.
Some of us didn't really even understand how to read, right? So those Bibles came out, and then once those Bibles came out, they had in the very beginning of the Bible a place for you to write down the marriages,
Yes.
Your births, the deaths,
Mm-hmm.
and also your land deeds.
The land deeds. No, I did not know that.
So once you had them land deeds, then they came around, and I know you remember this. They came around with these little they'd be like some young Caucasian kids walking around the neighborhood with some white Bibles.
The Mormons?
They may have been Mormons, but I'm
Church
saying
of Latter
they came
Day
around.
Saints.
They
Okay,
came,
I do remember.
they came around in the neighborhood with these little white Bibles with the gold fringe, and they said,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, you turn in your old Bible, we'll give you this brand new white Bible with the gold fringe." Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what they were doing? If you get
Replacing your history.
not
Your
just your history, they were taking your land deeds. Because if you
oh,
gave up your Bible, you gave up your deed.
oh no.
And they kept showing you that in those Western movies. Why were they
No.
always come? They were always going to the thieves were always going to the bank to get the deeds.
Shower.
So were, and the deeds were the ones that we really own, where we had our property, our people, and they took them deeds.
Mm. Sheik, we were talking about. Thank you. We were talking. I was asking you about the so-called dirty Moors or Moors from North Africa who colonized the Europeans. Did they come here and colonize us? And somebody said, "Thank you, Sister Alana." Said, "Yeah, but many countries colonized us." Somebody said that up earlier, and then Alana said, "France, Germany, Russia, Spain, and Britain. Many nations colonized the original Americans here."
Because everyone was given an incentive to come here.
Mm.
Because see, as you know, when they started a lot of that, they started when they started the little census and everything. And when they had the census, then you had people classifying themselves as being white.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
The people from Ireland, the people from
Mm-hmm.
Russia, the people from
Mm-hmm.
Switzerland, the people from wherever they were, all the Europeans. They start classifying. Even the Africans were doing it, right?
Yeah.
On paper, they're classified as white. So when they
Yeah.
had the census, then you could always have the numbers favor them versus us,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Because if you broke up if you divided everybody and broke it down, then you would have more balance or more parity, right? You
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have all Caucasians because see, you look at Jews as being Caucasian, don't you? Think about it. You think of the Germans as being Caucasians. You think of the people from Ireland, from Swiss. All of them people because of their complexion or whatever, they're Caucasian, but they're not.
They're not, because I remember the Ireland people, the Irish, they were called the original N words.
Come on now.
They got the kinky red hair. When you have red hair, that's like fourth generation black blood. And then the Jews, according to Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, she said, "Why do you think they have big noses and dark curly hair? Their features." She's like, "They're mixed."
Right.
So-called Jews. I don't know where they really came from, honestly.
Right.
Sheik, somebody want to know: are we who are original from this land in the Americas? Are we Moors?
We're everything. We're the Israelites. We're the Moors. Moors. Muurs. We're the Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creek, Seminole, Cherokee. We're all of that. We're the Al Bay, Day, El Ali. We are it all. We are the Hebrews, the original Jews. We are that because we're from all over the world. And we were always here way before anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what I said about white supremacy? White supremacy is 14 and everything in threes. That's 42. So think about that Bible. You got before Christ and after death.
BC and AD.
Right. Now, wait. 4,000 years before Christ
Okay.
and 2,000 years after death. Ain't that 42?
Mm.
And then you know their existence. 42. And AD is 1-4, as in 14. They letting you know. And you dealing with the period of death. But see, now we're talking about an age because the age of death was when Jesus died, now you're in the age of Pisces. Didn't they say Jesus was a fisherman of men?
Yes.
Right? Ain't that fish the Pisces?
Yes.
And the fish belongs to the sea.
The sea.
And he was able to walk on water because Christ, who is bronze, right? Christ was the more. Christ was the more. As in Christmas, mas in Spanish is more in English. Christmas, Christ was the more because he had skin of bronze, woolly hair, eyes like fire. Because he didn't belong to the sea, he belonged to the land. That's why he was able to walk on water.
Dang. You bringing it.
But he said in Matthew 28:20, I'll be with you till the end of an age. The age of Pisces.
Oh.
We're out of that age.
Can I show you just something? It's going to be a short thing that talks about the Americas were colonized by many different nations. I just want to show you. It's very quick. I just want to show you because somebody asked the question. So let me show y'all something I saw. This is very, very short here. Kind of took me by surprise. But, I thought y'all could see that. Hold on. Y'all can't see it?
No.
Hold on, family. I thought I brought it up to y'all. Could y'all see that?
Netherlands to Canada.
Could y'all see that?
Yeah.
Now you can see it? Okay. Yeah. All right. It's very, very short. Hold on. Let me see if I can bring it. I can rewind it.
Hallelujah. He has.
You sleep?
Dang.
We talked about how Trump broke.
You sleep? I'm gonna wake you up. Watch this video.
World War I is from 1492 to 1775, when America was attacked by 7 countries simultaneously for 283 years. They bombed this place. Russia took Alaska, Netherlands took Canada, British and England took the East Coast, Italy took Texas up to the Gulf, France took New Orleans up the Gulf, and Spain came around the West Coast down through Argentina, Chile, and up the backside. 7 countries attacked Black America. In 1775, we surrendered and lost the right to vote. They put us in slavery camps. They labeled them reservations, and the ones that did not go on reservations was labeled Negro.
You sleep?
I didn't know that we were allegedly conquered by 7 nations. So let me turn that off. I just wanted to share that, Sheik.
Yeah.
Well, allegedly, we said we were conquered. Say it again.
We were conquered, period. You know, it was a worldly attack on us. Like I said, we talking about prophecy. We're not talking about nothing more than prophecy. See, in the Bible, all prophecy must be fulfilled, right? So those around the world had to put us into captivity and prevent us from being able to rise for 400 years. Even Jesse Jackson, who labeled you African American, did it on purpose because it wasn't time for our people to rise yet, even though he's part of the Cherokee Nation himself. Right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't time for us to rise. So he had to keep us from rising. And that's the same thing they do over at Harvard with the whole skull and bones things. You know, when you had the 41st president, 41, George Bush, Herbert Walker Bush. It was done to keep you from rising. What they would do is take some black dude off the street. He might have been a homeless man or something. And they would say, hey, this is your father, but you can't let him rise.
Wow.
They would put a thing over his head just like they do when they're about to assassinate people, so they wouldn't know where they're going. But then he'd be in the space room, you know, with the big old room of Caucasian men, right? And he would say, this is your father, but you can't let him rise. Why is my battery going down? My battery went off. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna have to.
Okay, I could. Okay.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna have to transition. Keep talking.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, family. Thank you for entering in the room. For those of you who are just coming in, I'm sorry, Brother Tony said he didn't know about the 4 p.m. or you forgot about it. Oh yeah, you saw that about the elephant? Oh my gosh, that was deep, wasn't it? I mentioned it briefly in the beginning of this video. How the elephant used to be a symbol of majesty for the indigenous peoples here in America. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I had to show that to the family, Brother Tony. Y'all let us know what you think about the information so far that the Sheik is dropping. It is really, really important for us to know true history, even if it's kind of upsetting or if it's completely different from what we have been taught. I think it's important to know information. I want to know it, even if something offends me, but if it's the truth, I want to know the truth. Don't keep me in the dark. Sorry, family, I'm clicking out some of these tabs I have up because I think it might be causing my computer to freeze. Let me know that you can hear me, family.
I'm going to try to tap back in from my laptop versus my phone.
Okay. Absolutely. Okay. Thank you, Brother Jerry. Jerry said this is great information. Thank you. Let me show you. Look, was that a short or was that a regular video? For those who didn't see it, I'll show it again. Why the Sheik is coming back in. He said he got to try to come in from another device. But I wanted to those that said they didn't see. Oh, there he is. That video. Who was it? Brother Hood. Tony Hood. Did Jacob Bay come in the room?
I'm trying from there you go.
Okay. Oh, then it says this following content may contain graphic or violent imagery. Let me show y'all because it was kind of interesting. Can y'all see that?
You really think that elephant on the political ballot is just a marketing logo? You really think that elephant on the political ballot is just a marketing logo? That is the ancestral representation of your republic, a government modeled directly after the loyal and protective structure of elephantine families that have been in America since time immemorial. In our ancient society, we didn't just read about elephants in books. We owned them like dogs, and they served as our great caregivers and protectors during the mammoth phase right here on this soil. You have been fed a fill-in-the-blank history to hide the fact that elephants and camels are indigenous to the Americas. They turned these majestic symbols of our republic into circus acts and minstrel shows, mocking our heritage for the amusement of the New World. The ultimate insult is right in your face, but you're too blind to see it. Dumbo. They named the circus elephant Dumbo as a direct mockery of you, the original Moor, because they think you're too dumb to recognize your own reflection in the sideshow. Look at the cartoons and the circus ads. They even put a fez on the elephant, the physical symbol of Moorish nationality, and parade it around for amusement while you sit in the stands cheering for your own destruction. You were the Dumbo in their circus, as long as you refused to see the truth. After the mud floods and the wars of the 1800s, they had to repopulate the land. They brought in the Cabbage Patch Kids, the generation of clones and test tube babies harvested from orphan trains and World Fair incubators. These were the infant industries protected by the Republican Party's protective tariffs, not factories, but the biological manufacturing of a new programmed workforce to replace the indigenous Moors. Lynchings were never just about random racial hate. It was corporate liquidation. The men they hung, like Jesse Washington in 1916, were often the chiefs, emperors, and allodial landowners whose names had to be erased so the state could seize their estates and resources. And look at the ritual parallel in that very same year. They took Mary the elephant, the living physical symbol of the Moorish Republic, and hung her from an industrial crane in a public execution. This was a theater of war, a mock ritual intended to signal the total overthrow of the original proprietors. They turned our majesty into sideshows and put Moors in human zoos in our own world expositions to brainwash the public into thinking we were savages from Africa rather than the architects of the mound cities in America. They trapped you in a psychological net, herding you into a status scam designed to reclassify you as contraband, Negro, or Indian. In 1871, through the Organic Act of Congress, the corporate United States officially usurped this land, establishing a municipal government for the District of Columbia to act as a holding company for the Moorish Empire. The slaughter of tens of millions of bison and American elephants was not merely a result of unchecked exploitation. It was a theater of war designed to erase the evidence of the American paradise and the Moors who ruled it. The invaders orchestrated a systematic extermination of these creatures to disconnect the Moors from the natural wealth of their land. Those that weren't slaughtered were captured and shipped overseas to foreign zoos or traveling shows, turning the majestic ancestral symbols of our republic into circus acts, like the mockery of Dumbo. Exactly how they treated the elephants is how they treated the original Moors of America. Before the corporate United States usurped this land in 1871, this was a lawful confederation, governed by the Witan Agaman, a mystic assembly of wise men and nobles, and the alcalde, the Moorish village judge or magistrate, whose office existed in every state of the Union. Look at the mockery they've turned your status into. They give you the Republican elephant representing the substance of a lawful government and pitted against the Democratic donkey, which represents the demos, a mere demonstration, a theatrical act, the government of the mob. By joining that demonic party, they are literally showing you that you are a jackass for joining the mob against your own estate and handing your inheritance to a corpocracy. This entire two-party system is a Freemasonic war between two halves of the same whole, designed to keep you in a trance while they strip your mineral estates and allodial titles. We held allodial titles to the very soil. But today, you're acting as a supporting character in a movie written for you by your enemy, supporting a kleptocracy that siphons your energy and feeds on your trauma. Stop being a victim, declare your nationality, reclaim the republic, and remember, the elephant is yours, the land is yours, and the time of the great amnesia is finally over.
Brother Tony Hood had mentioned about seeing that and how he was impressed by it. So I thought I would share it with the Soul family. That is a video about how the elephant used to be a symbol of majesty in the Americas, I would say pre-colonial period. And that's just fascinating. Even when you think about the concept and origins of zoos, that seems to me anyway to be cruel to have animals encaged, as a spectacle for us to see, and they look miserable. They're not in their natural habitat. Although, I do like seeing the animals. It just breaks my heart watching them live in such conditions in the zoos, You said you're loving it. Absolutely. Let me send Sheik Bey another link because he wasn't finished. I guess he was having problems with his computer. Hold on, this might be him. Thank you, Sister Kathy Bush, for sending me a blessing. And Edward Darby, thank you so much for sending me gifts on Cash App. I appreciate you. You guys are so kind. Creator bless you. Heaven smile on you. Let me see if this is the Sheik trying to reconnect. He's trying to reconnect. He's having issues. Okay. Isn't it interesting how he's had so many issues on this podcast? I'll send him another one. I saw him in the background trying to connect, but his screen was fuzzy again, just like it did earlier in the conversation. I sent him a new link. Let me let him know. So what the Sheik is talking about is that the transition of power and how it's occurring now from the deep state, United States Incorporated, to we the people. Absolutely. Okay, thank you, Chief. Oh, and who is this? Ye Are Gods. Hi, Ye Are God says, man, Everybody focus your energy on blocking any and all interferences. Thank you for that. Any and all interferences for the next 20 seconds and see what happens. Okay, we're going to connect as one soul family, focusing on clearing the energy so that Sheik Jacob Bey can come back and finish his presentation. Thank you so much for that. Botanica says Agent Smith is trying to interfere with this YouTube meeting. Yeah, they dethroned the people, the original people, and they did the same to the elephant. And someone earlier says we are NDN. What are you saying? Indians? Is that what you're saying? Indians and not Moors. Thank you for saying that. I keep hearing different things. Some people say we're Moors. Some people say we're not. Some people say there's a difference between MOOR and MUUR. But then when you think about how in ancient times there were no vowels, it's just the M and the R. Seems like it's the same word. All I know is that my people said that you Indian, you got Indian in your family. You're Cherokee on your mama's side, no, on your daddy's side, Blackfoot on your pappy side, your daddy's side. And all, but people have made love and married and intermixed and intermingled. So a lot of us are we're mixed with different blood types, different people. I wish I knew why we were treated so terribly. And why all nations, all type of nations were allowed to come here and live off the land, take the land, steal the land, some knowingly and some unknowingly, get the resources from the government seemingly, but literally they were tapping into our birth certificate bonds. Why was this allowed to happen? Because we're prisoners of war, I reckon. And when you're prisoners of war, you are I don't know. I guess, are you hostages? You slaves? I don't know. It's sad. Hi, Tammy. Tammy says, yes, Lena, I've been telling mothers and fathers, do not read or see any nursery or sing any nursery rhymes. Thank you, Sister Tammy. They'll be putting curses on their families if they sing nursery rhymes. True story, and wonder why there's so many divorces. Are you serious, Sister Tammy? Thank you. Don't sing nursery rhymes. And my grandson, who's 8, showed me that when you sing happy birthday, that's a seance and a ritual, and it cuts off your life. My grandson, Amin Ra, was showing me a video of where people were saying that was a ritual, where if you get around in a circle with the lights out and the candles and you're singing happy birthday, you're actually cutting off that person's life and their energy force. And that's why a lot of people don't celebrate birthdays. It took an 8-year-old to explain that to me. Now, I know some religions don't celebrate birthdays, but to sing the song in that manner, it sounds like doing the same thing Sister Tammy said. Sound like it may be casting curses and spells upon us. We don't know why we're doing a lot of rituals. It's just what we've been taught. Welcome back, Sheik Bey. Good to see you.
Hey.
Hey, King.
Okay, so let's hope this works.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know where you left off or I left off.
Okay, well, I showed the video of that Brother Tony Hood was saying that he enjoyed watching. It was like a 5-minute clip that says that elephants were majestic to the people on the land here and how they were hung and mistreated and put in circuses just like the people here.
Oh, yeah.
But you were about to go to this next picture because we had done some of the other ones, but this was the next one.
Oh, yeah, that was yesterday. And that's Steph Curry's father, Dale Curry. And they retired his jersey. But where they did it was in, he played for the Charlotte Hornets, CH, and everything in threes. That's 30. That's in his jersey number.
Oh.
And it's a new DC. It's a new government. DC as in Dale Curry. You get what I'm saying?
There's a new government that's coming back now.
Dale Curry, DC. That's the new government. Not him. It's all symbolic.
Okay.
It's a new government.
What does the DC represent, though?
Well, District of Columbia.
We're
now in charge.
But they now that won't be the capital any longer, right?
Nashville will be the capital.
Because it's in Egypt?
Yeah.
Tennessee? Oh.
Everything is going back to frequencies. That's why it's called Music City.
Okay.
Music is the highest frequency.
Wow. Come on through here. Okay. All right. That means.
And they just changed the Tennessee Titan logo and took away the ball of flame because the ball of flame represented like a meteor hitting the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And when it hits the earth, the flame is put out, extinguished. So they extinguished the flame because then you know that we have returned.
What?
Yep.
Wow.
I said our solar return. You remember that earlier?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that just happened.
Mm.
And the name of the stadium is called Nissan Stadium, and in Hebrew, Nissan means Jubilee.
Wow. Okay. And in Hebrew they call it Nissan, Nisan. Is that's a month?
Yeah, Nisan.
Uh-huh.
Correct.
And I think that is a Hebrew month. I can't remember what time of the year. I want to say, is it the beginning of the year? When is Nisan 2026? I'm just curious now.
And they changed the look.
March or April? March to April. Go ahead.
March to April, right?
That's it.
Read it.
Let me stop sharing this one right quick. I thought that was, and I think that's around Passover.
Where are we now? March to what?
April.
That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing
Nissan,
with
this is Nissan 5786 according to the Jewish calendar. March to April 2026.
That's what we're dealing with.
Come on.
Can't make it up.
You really can't. Okay, I'm gonna show you the next one if you would like me to.
Please.
What have we here?
Oh, that's everybody wearing that green though. Everything going back to the land.
Now, do they get a phone call and say, okay, everybody wear your green today, some of you wear blue to represent water?
They do. They tell the president what color tie to wear.
Wow.
See, some days when he's wearing the blue tie, he's representing the de facto. When he's wearing the red, he's representing the republic. When he's wearing the gold, he's letting you know we're going back to the gold standard.
That's deep.
When he's wearing the purple, he's letting you know who the real royalty is.
Wow. I mean, I'm an everyday person. It's just hard to fathom how they just like go through this great extent, these great lengths. Okay, today we're going to wear blue. Mr. President, you're going to wear a gold tie, and this is your speech for the day. And we're going to have a number 33 on the screen, and we're going to have, you're going to say this at exactly 4:11. It's wild.
Oh, they go back several years and decades when they do these rituals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Centuries.
So,
yeah.
We finished with this one?
Go ahead.
I see them. They stand at the door with the ushers over here.
Oh,
at the door.
No, you can go to the next one.
Is this Congress? Who is this meeting?
But look at the number on there.
51 and May 48.
Yeah. And 48, 4 is the darkness, 8 is the light. So we're going from the darkness to the light.
Come through here. Now, what were they voting on again?
Save America.
Save. Okay. Oh, this is to Save America again. Yeah. What, some actually didn't want to save America? Okay.
Well, it's deeper than that because SA, as in Save America, is S is 19, A is 1. That's 191. The Alpha and the Omega and the Alpha. First shall be last, and then we're gonna be first again.
Okay. Alpha and Omega. First shall be last, and the last shall be first. Ooh-wee. Here we go. Here's the next one. I can stop it. I mean, now with this knowledge, now
it's that time, right?
Yes.
Go ahead and break it down. You can break it down for yourself.
I can break it down now. She represents the law of the land. She has on green. I love the way they're all coordinated. He has on a blue tie that represents maritime law, law of the water. He represents law of the land, our constitutional law, our common law. And here you have the Speaker of the House with both transition and power.
Transitioning. That's it. You got it.
Hey, from maritime to law of the land. Hey, but you my friend, so that's why I know this.
Yeah, but guess what you're doing? You're teaching everybody else how to look at it.
Okay.
You just taught a lot of people. I don't even know if you understood, but you just did. But again, that's how they put the stuff right in your face.
It's beautiful when you understand, when you have an understanding or overstanding. It's beautiful. Wow, thank you. Rosie. Yes, I feel very confident too. Who's that? Jenny says the content is on. I thought you were saying the confidence is on. Yes. Yeah, who would vote against America? Somebody said, I wonder who would vote against America.
It's not them voting against it. They had to make the number come up to 51.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's all they did. So you have to have those who oppose to make that other number get to 51. It had to stop at 51.
Oh.
Because they're sending out a different message, letting you know that the return of your land, 50 states plus Washington, D.C.
Come on. I'm loving this. Okay, this is the final one, at least on this thread. It might be the final one. Here we go. What's this?
I think I sent you another one though.
Oh, okay, I'll look for it.
Yeah, I sent you one more.
Okay.
And all okay, so if you look at the third symbol going from your left to right, what does that say?
March 22?
Yeah. And then what does it say on there? What's the symbol look like?
Skull and bones.
What did I tell you about March 22nd? Skull and bones. What? That's when the corporation is dead forever.
322, March 22nd.
Correct.
Come on. And April 5th is the resurrection. Is that Easter?
Yeah, that's I think the resurrection may happen even before then, but that's yeah.
But even what does that resurrection mean? Resurrection of what?
Your Christ consciousness.
I can dig it.
Not necessarily we're gonna see some figure in the sky. But if you're no longer the dead, see, you understand what I'm saying to you now, right? We're talking about skull and bones. So if you're no longer dead, right? Now the corporation may be dead, but we're going to be reborn out of that corporation. Because we were all in the corporation.
Every last one of us.
Right. So then the resurrection is no longer in the corporation. That's some deep shit. Oh, excuse me, y'all. See, that's me thinking how I think.
That's the last one I see, Sheik.
Is there another email?
No, I checked it. I just checked my email. Let me look again.
Because I had one with the whole thing with Chuck Norris. And if you don't have it, people heard that he died today. No. Chuck Norris, you remember him?
I remember him, the karate guy.
Yeah. And what else was he best known for? Walker, Texas Ranger. Right? Walker and Ranger. Watch this, y'all. I'm telling you, it's a reversal. It's a reversal. They said he was 86 years old. So we know 8 and 6 is 14, right?
Yes, 8 plus 6.
And Texas equals a reversal. TEXAS is 69. So you reverse 14, you got 41. And Walker Ranger is WR. W is 23 and R is 18. W 23 and 18 is 41. So they're telling you everything is now reversed. And even his name, Chuck Norris, C is 3, N is 14. But it's a reversal. 41 and 3. Yeah, it's deep, y'all.
It is deep.
It's deep, y'all. We're here. And everything, and from here on out, everything is going to look like it's being reversed.
Yeah.
Not just are we praying to the heavens that it's going to happen? No, it's going to look like it's happening.
Brother Tony said, wow and wow.
Thank you, Brother Tony.
23 Archer says, and no punishment for them? No punishment for any colonizers or people who took over the planet? I guess that's what they're saying.
Some are going to be punished, but I don't know how. But see, justice, you know, we're made of peace, love, peace, truth, freedom, and justice. So justice is going to come how it's going to come. We don't know what justice is going to look like, but we do know they just expanded Guantanamo Bay. Did you hear that?
No.
They have expanded Guantanamo Bay. This has been in the last day or two.
Bay.
Bay. So therefore, they're letting you know that there are going to be some concentration camps, right?
Okay.
For those who are the wrongdoers.
Okay.
Wrongdoers consist of your bank presidents,
okay,
CEOs, those people who were robbing you from your own credit and double dipping into your own trust. Right? You got judges that were dipping into your trust, making you be the trustee, and they become the beneficiary of your trust. Right? They were swapping roles. That's illegal.
Okay.
Police, those who treated you as being civilly dead and deprived you of your natural rights. All that's going to be dealt with, right? So all the people who are now going to be wearing the uniforms are not going to be wearing the blue, and they're not going to be wearing the black, because blue means law of the sea,
okay,
and black means death, right? So you're going back to the law of the land, which is the brown and the green, and that's what the sheriffs wear.
Somebody was adding to what you said. Who is that? I can't see. I am said judges, lawyers, and insurance companies. They're going to be judged.
Correct. They're correct. They're correct. Mortgage companies too, brother.
What?
Yeah. Because see, like I said, mortgage means what? A dead pledge.
Yes.
They treated you as being dead and robbed you from your own, wealth. What was in your trust. They took it.
What about credit card debt? What's going to happen to our credit?
It's going to be gone.
Say it again.
It's going to be gone. That's why they removed the penny from the United States government, because the penny was the credit. Y'all take a nickel, dime, and quarter, add it up. It's 40 cents. But when you add that copper colored penny,
it's 41.
So that means that the penny is no longer part of the U.S. government.
Oh.
It's back to belonging to the American people. That's why they now made it another one of those wealth things with your gold and your silver, now your copper. Because it's lawful money. And the penny was the credit. That's why it was facing to the right. Abraham, the descendant of Abraham, are the heirs to the land.
Wow.
Abraham from Kentucky, King Tut.
King Tut. Sister Jenny says, we will be completely debt-free. We've been robbed for years. No debt and no mortgage. Amen. Hallelujah.
See, we were in a period of drowning in debt.
Right.
Now you're going to be flying in credit.
Wow.
See, it's not, see what it is. Debt is something that you owe. Credit is something that you just have.
Okay.
Right? And it's unlimited credit that you don't have to pay back because it's yours anyway. Because if you're the true heir, everything that's on the land, in the land, is yours.
Come on.
That's why they're taking away the grocery taxes. You can't be taxed for something that's yours. You can't be taxed on property that's already yours. See what I'm saying? Get rid of property tax, right?
Yes.
Get rid of income tax, right? They ain't gonna have you. You can't be taxed for what you do. Because see, that tax was going over to the crown. The crown was over in England.
I see.
See, like I said, I think I said it on one of your shows. I was talking about when you go to the casino and then you have that slot machine and it says Royal Jackpot. They letting you know when you get your jackpot, you still got to pay a tax to the crown. Because it's called a Royal Jackpot, right?
Okay.
And then you see them black bars. It says bar, right? They're letting you know you got to pay to the British accredited registry, the bar. Put
Divine.
it right.
Go ahead, Sheik.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just saying they just put it right in your face.
They do. Sister Divine Queen asks, how does this new system work with the state government?
State government is being changed. You see how quick I'm going with this? Because once you know what's really happening, it's easy to answer these questions. Okay. Because the state government is going to be its own foreign country.
Okay.
Right? That's why they're now talking about reinforcing these passports, right? Because when you have the passport, you're going to probably need a passport to go from one state to the next state.
Really?
Each state is going to be its own foreign country. Yeah. Because if it goes back to the republic, every state has its own constitution.
Right.
We got to go back all the common law, whatever that common law means, right? And there will be checkpoints, I guess. Because what they're doing is, the only ones that are going to be able to roam freely are our people. I hate to say it that way, other people. But we'll be able to roam freely because the entire land is yours. The entire earth is yours, right? The reason why they call them Indian reservations because they've been reserving the land for us when we wake up. Other people are going to need that passport to go from one state to the next state.
But you have people that are here that have green card, citizenship,
that's gone. That's replacing the gold card with the green card.
But I do hear, but they're saying like, but I'm legal.
You're not lawful.
Two different things. Come on through here.
Yes.
Legal is according to the United States Constitution. Lawful aligns with the republic.
Let me break it down even better.
Come on through here.
Legal is statutes, codes, rules, regulations, acts, and ordinances.
Okay.
Law is 10 commandments.
What?
Land, air, water. You know it.
You told us. Land and water. That's law.
Natural. That's what's natural.
You know, I remember when Trump kept saying things like, what's her name? That one lady that was vice president that wanted to be president. What's her name? Kamala Harris. He's like, she can't be a president. She can't be the president because she's not from here. So that made me think about studying what the founding fathers said. The founding fathers, and they must have been saying this. I mean, it's the reason why the founding fathers said in order to serve as president, and I'm sure they were talking about other republic, you have to be natural born and subject to the jurisdiction.
That's changing.
Okay.
That's changing.
Okay.
Because our people weren't ever supposed to be subjects to the United States jurisdiction.
Come on.
You remember now, I told you they're bringing down anything associated with that 14.
Right.
That's the 14th Amendment.
Oh, yeah. That's what birthright citizenship was about, right? 14th. The 14th Amendment.
And I said, Dred Scott, St. Louis, 314. They bringing all that down.
That's why people are so upset. I mean, people are livid about the birthright citizenship being done away with.
But if you think of it in a different context, always separate American and U.S. citizen.
Okay.
And what side of the track are you? We were never supposed to be on the United States side. We were always supposed to be on the American side. Right? That's why Trump says make America great again, because everything got to be restored back to America.
But what do you say to, like, Amelia said, well, I heard Trump isn't from here either. So what's that about?
He ain't.
Right. No.
He's not a U.S. citizen. No. He's the only president that's in real estate to give you back your real estate.
Bam.
The Trump.
And he was selected. Wasn't he selected by the military to do this?
He was selected by the Anunnaki to do this.
Whoa, come through here.
Come on. Selected by a higher being that we don't even know nothing about to do what he's doing. And he was selected 51 years ago, Area 51.
Take us through there. Take us through there. Take us through there. Take us through there. Wow.
That's the truth.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Come on with this fire. Come on. Any more questions, family? Somebody said all robots and clones have to go. Yes. Is this going to be reposted? Yes. Some very good stuff here. Yes, it is live on YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, both of my Facebook pages, LinkedIn even. And when the live is over, we're going to keep it up. Thank you. Adet Moore says, so today's credit card is actually a debt card, which is why they make one pay. What did you say? The make one pay it back. They make one pay it back. I'm not sure. It's time for real credit.
Why they make you pay it back.
That's why they make you pay it back. Okay.
Right.
Oh, they make one pay back. Okay.
Yeah.
It's actually a debt card. Absolutely.
And she's correct, because if it's true credit, you don't have to pay it back.
I see. Oh, I see.
See, you're okay. Let me explain the whole thing with the Jews.
Okay.
They just had a big old thing in New York just yesterday, because New York is the home to the Moorish Empire. So all these Jews, and they said it was like damn near 1 million Jews start scattering. Right? I mean, they were scattering like rats in New York. And they know that their time is over. This was yesterday, I believe, right? So they know that their time is over, and they would call, oh Lord, because I don't want to get in trouble for this, but they would call penny pinching Jews, okay? Yeah. Because they were, penny pinching means they were stealing your credit. The penny is the credit. Understand something. When you were a little girl, I was a little boy, we were never taught to save a nickel, dime, and a quarter.
Pennies.
We were taught to save the penny, because the penny,
had the penny bank.
The penny is the credit, right? So if they've been stealing your credit, right, then they knew that they were replacing you, because you're the true Jew, the true Hebrew, right? They know this, but they stole your place. Because see, when they go into the bank, all they need to do is sign for something, and they can get a new house. They can get a new car with their signature. And they're not having to pay nothing back. You get what I'm saying?
Chief Max said that's what he said, that when they turn 13, that's what the bar mitzvah is about, teaching them how to get access to credit.
He's exactly right.
Wow.
I'll say that next. That's what the whole bar mitzvah is about. He teach them how to tap into their credit, and they do it with the birth certificates and everything else. They get those birth certificates authenticated, and they do all this other stuff, and they tap into that, right? It's a trip what they do, and then they're able to take that social security number and take them dashes out, and people, those Those aren't dashes. Those are minus signs. And when you
What?
take the minus sign out, it now becomes a credit, no longer a debt.
And that's what I've seen applications that say put your social security number without the dashes.
Exactly, because especially when you're filing an insurance claim, because when you file a claim means money is coming back to you because it's a credit. But when you got the dashes in, that means you're gonna have to pay out. It's a debt.
Come out of our trust?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Somebody wants to know if you have your own show, your own site, Sheik.
I will be. I keep on saying that, but dang it, I'm distracted.
You got a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it all kind of tightened up. Still dealing with some de facto government stuff.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't have a site yet, but if you want to get on his waiting list or his email list, please send him an email to dejourlaw33@gmail. The dejourlaw33@gmail.com. And if you want to send him a donation or a love offering, you may at $ all rights reserved. That's $ALLRIGHTSRESERVED.
And I do respond to my emails.
Yes, you do, because people have said that you do, and they really enjoy your conversation. Yeah, all this is. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's really cool. I appreciate that. And anybody that ever sent me a Cash App donation over this time, thank you. I appreciate it. I love that you showed me the love, and I love some of the comments that you all have been giving me too. Because I will say this: 99.9% of all the emails I get are just high praises, and I really appreciate that. That gets me through my day, believe it or not.
Wow, Sheik, that's beautiful.
Oh.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing your gratitude. That makes people feel appreciated, and know that you are grateful for what they do send.
I'm so grateful.
Somebody asked a question I thought was good, but let me see. Somebody asked a question about people who. What did y'all ask? Somebody said about people going back to where they, if they, okay, if anyone leaves America and go back to wherever, how will that affect the economy?
Because Trump already imposed the tariffs. See, the tariffs is everyone else around the world paying a tax to the American people. So the world is going to be supporting the American people. You know how back in the day we always said, why is this country always trying to help everybody else around the world, but we don't help ourselves, right?
Yeah, I heard it all my life.
Right, because that was the role of the United States.
Oh.
But now when it goes back to the Americas, everyone else around the world got to pay the American people. That's how it's going to affect the economy.
Wow.
And those who oppressed you will now be your servants and your handmaids. That's what it said in Isaiah 14:1.
And then Chiefess Vicky says we're going to grow the economy. Come on.
Yep.
Somebody else wanted to know, well, what about the people, like when they go back to their prospective places? They're gonna just be left out there. Will they have access to wealth too?
They're supposed to have some access because we're not trying to off people.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like we're trying to put some people in some incinerators and stuff like that and burn them up. No, we're not doing nothing like that. But it's like, give us a chance to be autonomous. Give us a chance to be able to get this land back to what it's supposed to be without all these people that we hear just pillaging off of what was rightfully ours. Let us get our situation straightened out so we can be good. Then y'all come back in here lawfully, like Trump said with the $5 million gold card. Y'all come back in here lawfully, but know that you all don't set the rules anymore.
Right.
These rules aren't your rules. This is how we're going to govern ourselves and govern this for eternity. That's why they call that movie Wakanda Forever. That's why they put that damn Minnesota on ice. That, you know, when they had them ice raids and all that stuff, and the ice storms in Minnesota.
Yes.
That's where Wakanda is located.
Mm.
It's no longer theirs. It's Wakanda Forever.
Right. And then, you know, when you think of Nassar and Jassara, the global part of that, we're supposed to release funds to nations all over the world. So you have Jassara, and then you have trusts, all types of trusts. You have the Rodriguez Trust, which we know somebody is affiliated with the Rodriguez Trust. Then you have the Saint Germain Trust, which somebody just told me that Anna von Reitz is the last living heir from the Saint Germain Trust, Judge Anna von Reitz.
Yeah.
So you have many ancient dynasty trusts. You have trusts and funds from all over the world.
The biggest trust is King Tut.
Okay, educate us.
King Tut. Fort Knox. Fort Knox.
The gold.
Where's it located?
Fort Knox, Kentucky. Kentucky. Wow.
You heard me.
Wow.
That's the trust.
Right.
That's the guarded trust.
That was huge.
I know.
That's huge.
And if y'all look, anybody can look it up. The zip code for where Fort Knox is starts with 41.
Wow.
They're letting you know.
Patricia asked, Sister Patricia Powell. Oh, I know a Pat Powell from Lexington, Kentucky. I don't think that's who that is, though. Do y'all know when we will get the funds or what have you dealing with our, or what have you? Do you know when we gonna get some money? Where the money at? Birth certificate money, funds, any type. Sister Patricia wants to know when.
The process starts Skull and Bones.
Okay.
2 days from now. That's
how many?
2 days from now, Skull and Bones.
Okay.
That's the death of the corporation. So when you have the death of the corporation, America must rise. But it takes 3 days for the resurrection.
That's
right?
Scripture. Yes.
That's scripture.
That's scripture.
So if you take 3 days from 322, it's 3/25/26. And I told you earlier, everything in threes and 25 and 26 is 51 as an area 51.
Yes.
That's when the land is restored. And that's when you become the creditor. And now you're alive forever. This stuff is deep.
It really is.
And 7 is completion. So on the 7th day is what? April Fool's Day, because it's 41.
41.
Why they call it April Fool? Because they would be fooled to ever think they would be the king.
Woo! Woo! The Soul Family are they saying that you are dropping jewels. Oh, who is that? Judah says the Bible says every man will return to his own land.
That's it. That's it. That's what we've been saying on this whole show. They got to go back to where they came from.
Why are people so offended by that? I just don't. That can't wrap my brain around it.
Because in their head, not in our head, in their head, they think just because they were born here and all that other stuff, oh, we're the Americans. Fuck that. No.
Oh.
Never were. We are.
So if I'm born in China, does that make me Chinese?
Hell no.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Let me take that back. Because like I told you earlier, you know, it was the children of Noah who spread out all over the earth. So let me take that back. That's Asiatic. So yes, let me reverse that. Yes, you are. Because you're from all over the world. Everything, all nations started with our people. So I had to correct myself. Let me not make this an American thing. It's a worldly thing. Shit, it even goes into the universe. They showed you that with the Bugs Bunny cartoon.
They did?
You remember Marvin the Martian?
I do.
He was a little brother on Mars. What color was he wearing? Red and green, like the Moorish flag. Letting you know we up here too. And we got pyramids up here too. See, that's melanin. Our whole being is created out of melanin.
I just had to look him up just to see for myself. Just to verify. No, but verify. Look. Yep, got on this red and green.
Got that red and green on.
That's the
Y'all see this thing different, boy. And he was always being antagonized by Daffy Duck, DD, as in Doomsday.
Can y'all see me clearly? Because I've got okay, there we go. That's better. Well, Sheik, we've been on for 2 hours and 45 minutes, but you giving us so much information, I don't even know if I want to let you go.
Oh, that's sweet. So, I mean, I can roll for a few more if you want, because I can just, whatever you ask, I'm ready.
Okay, let me see.
Why don't you do this? Let them ask questions and I'll answer.
Okay, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Yes, sir. I've been giving questions from the chat. If y'all have questions, come on. Oh, somebody said Bunny. What'd you say? Bugs Bunny has on copper. Okay.
And you remember now, the Super Bowl had Bad Bunny, and ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, right? And he was wearing the number 64, meaning that's who he's coming after. The reversal of 46.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah, I told you that 64 meant, it really means some kind of doom and death, right? Because the monster is the beast. The beast is, you can call it the mark of the beast, but the beast is, your werewolf, your Frankenstein's monster, your Dracula, and all that stuff. That's why you had these TV shows that all came out in the year 64, like the Monsters, the Addams Family.
Yes.
Bewitched, which is about witches, right? And then you had Gilligan's Island, which was about the being dead and lost at sea. They didn't know what them people were.
Speaking about not knowing what people were, let's see. Somebody asked, let me see if I could find that question. Somebody said, but what about people from Europe, Europeans? They're not from here. Are they going to go back to their lands?
Yeah, I just said that earlier. I said, the power grid in Europe is not strong enough to accommodate them all. That's why Trump is buying the Greenland, so he can send them all up to Greenland.
Now, would it be? Go ahead.
They were the ones who came here on ships.
That part, right? That's true.
They came here on ships, and they're going to leave by ship. They're going to ship them out to Greenland.
Do you think it'll be kind of like an incentive? Like, you go to Greenland, you can do this, you can have that.
I don't think that's what it is. He said you can go voluntarily or you'll be forced out.
He said that.
You remember that? So if you're going to be forced out, that's not going to be good for you. That sounds like a concentration camp.
Good Lord.
But voluntarily, hey, we'll let you go and then have an opportunity to come back into this country the right way. But if we have to force you out, you don't come back. We hear y'all. I mean, this is it. We are here. Now, the thing that I'm most concerned about, and I'm be real with you, when the land is going to be restored, everything going to be in threes. So don't be surprised. Oh, Lord. Don't be surprised if the actual United States or North America becomes in 3 parts by earthquakes. Because it'll be, you heard of what's over in Yellowstone Park, and they're talking about that over there, exploding. That's the big one, and it'll wipe out several states.
Okay.
And then you have the New Madrid Fault, which is right there where the Nile River is, right? that's the Mississippi.
Mm.
And a lot of that Midwest area might be gone. And you'll now have Great Lakes versus land.
I've heard some people say there's a possibility that's been neutralized. That plane has been neutralized by the Galactics.
Let's pray it has been.
Okay.
Yeah, let's pray it has been. I don't know, because I'm not one that's going to just put that into existence, because I don't want that to happen.
Right. I want to read this comment about the White House. Where are you? Somebody said the White House just turned red. Thank you, darling. Who is that?
Oh, today?
Donald said the White House in Washington, D.C. just turned red, signifying EBS within 24 hours, plus that mass arrests were in motions by the Global Military Alliance. Was that today, Brother Donald? He said it just happened. He said that he just posted this at 6:49 p.m. His
What?
comment.
Wait. Now listen to that. Listen to what he said.
Okay.
Listen to what time he just posted. Didn't I just tell you 64 was the beast and 9 means the end or something? 649.
Washington, D.C. Let me see. The White House just, I'm going to try. Images. I see an image.
You see it?
But I don't know if this is today. Let me see. I'm going to say March. What's this? 20th. Fact check. So I don't know when this happened, though. Hold on. Let me get this comment up.
Ask him. I mean, Donald, can you respond back to us, please?
Let us know, Donald, if you give us a link or something to here. I see an image right here, but I don't know if that was today. Here's a comment. Fact check. Old video screen cap shows White House turned red. Y'all always saying no, it's not true. Let me see. See if I can find some images. I don't know when that was.
Where's Donald when you need him?
Donald, where are you, dear? Can you show us a link or something? That's pretty cool. Oh, somebody else said that was the other day. Prosperity, was it the other day? She said, Prosperity said, I think it was the other day. Okay.
But regardless, that's showing you. And when you start seeing red, see, oh boy, we've been living in the black.
Yeah. Thank you, Donald. He just got the news. That he just got it, so he didn't know when it happened exactly.
Okay.
Did you talk about his? Nasis said, were you gonna say something?
No, go ahead.
Did you all already talk about the Temple Mount in Jerusalem? It was bombed a few hours ago.
Okay, so you see how easy these questions are? Because that wasn't the real Jerusalem in the first place. Guess what Jerusalem really is? Arkansas. Area 51, 501. Y'all look it up. Jerusalem, Arkansas.
Okay. Jerusalem.
It's on the other side of the Nile River.
With USA right in the middle of the word.
Yes.
Unincorporated community in Conway County, Arkansas. What does it mean when something is unincorporated? I've seen towns like that.
Because we don't belong to the United States.
Oh.
We belong to you. We're still part of the Republic. And we're still dealing with common law.
Okay.
Krypton, you know where they say Superman is from. That's in Kentucky.
What?
Right? Krypton. It's unincorporated. What was his name? Kal-El.
L as in Amor. He was Amor.
Yeah. He was the real Superman.
Wow. Oh, so he answered that question. Great question, Sister Stephanie. We were talking about that earlier. Do we have to change our status? And according Do you want to address that? I know you said it earlier.
Not really. I mean, well, she didn't hear it then. I'll just say it real quick.
Okay.
I don't believe in all the paperwork. And because the United States government is already taken down. See, whatever they created, they have to take down. That's why when they had this insurrection of the White House a few years back, they had to do it because what they created, they were taken down. You didn't see none of our people in that mix. It was them, right? And they had to take down what they were creating.
One person did have on a tribal garb, looked like Indian garb. Remember, did you see that?
Yeah.
He's the one that
Yeah,
put
he was the one sitting at the head of the head of Congress table or whatever that was. Yeah. But letting you know everything has to be restored back to the indigenous people. People don't realize that the United States Capitol, sitting on top of that Capitol, is a sister.
A sister? Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Exactly. Kind of look like you.
Hey. Can you speak about the Attorney General and their role, like child support, etc.?
The Attorney General is he's the medium between the dead and the living.
Whoa. Okay.
He's the only one who can talk to both sides. He deals with the corporate side, and then he deals with the living side. And when you get like affidavits signed and all that stuff, and you have it notarized, even on the notary, you have a choice. You can be a natural living person, or you can just be a person that appears. A person that appears is a ghost.
Right.
A natural living person is someone that they see, and they saw them, and they notarize it and acknowledge that they were really there.
What about child support? And would that be a part of our reality?
They can't tell you how to raise your children no more. Those contracts that were third-party contracts, it was contracts like the driver's license, the DMV, that gave up your rights to be free. The other contract was the marriage contract, right?
Yes, sir.
Because when you signed that marriage contract, you allowed the state to be a third party to your marriage. That's why the state can determine when you all break up who gets what, and who controls the children. The state still controls those children because whatever is created from that corporation belongs to the state. The children are the corporate beings, and that's why they have the birth certificate thing, because you signed that, and they call it, the woman signs in her maiden name. Well, if you think about the maiden, it's made after the name Iron Maiden, and if you know the Iron Maiden, it's a death chamber. So they're saying that the woman got to be dead, and then we take your child, right? And it's signed at the bottom, Department of Agriculture, because you become chattel, as in cattle.
Wow. So birth certificate, not birth certificate. Yep. Let's talk about marriage licenses. Will they be null and void? I mean,
okay. So if you're going back to what it was supposed to be about, you remember in the movie Roots, they jumped over the broom.
Yes.
We're going to be jumping back over brooms. And all you need is witnesses to know that you were married. Everybody knows. And even Trump has said, if you've been together for 5 years, you're married by common law.
That used to be a thing when I was growing up. People were common law married, and everybody knew that they were married.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't go down to the courthouse.
And now, see, people don't even realize this. You can actually create your own contract with your wife. You know what I'm saying? And govern yourselves with that contract.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, I like that actually.
Your wife can belong to a trust, and you can belong to a trust, and both of you have full rights to that trust where you all are the beneficiaries of the trust, right?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all could probably be co-trustees.
Mm.
Or you can make someone else co-trustee, whatever. But you're the beneficiary of the trust. That way you can still operate in the corporate world.
I see.
But the government doesn't own it. You own it. And then you can get insurance with it. You can get bank accounts with it. You can get whatever else you need with it to operate in the corporate.
Mm. Mm. And I heard Trump was, or his administration was changing some of the rules for people getting divorced. You know how automatically some women would get alimony, but he was changing that. When you
Well,
can't just
he already changed the rules regarding women having to get the DNA test
for the babies.
To establish who the father is.
Yes,
because they just can't put any man's name down there no more.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
before they was like, well, he's the daddy, when they know damn well he wasn't the daddy. And if you put down somebody's name that you know is not the daddy, now you can go to jail.
Yeah, which is good because there were men paying for children. Even if they said this is not my child, if he signed thinking it was his child, he still had to pay.
Yeah, because you signed a contract.
Crazy.
Yeah. Because see, there are things that they can't do unless you give it up to them. So all these contracts that we've done, whether it's mortgage contracts, insurance contracts, or any other kind of contracts, we are giving up ourselves unknowingly because it's voluntary consent. Yeah.
I'm sorry, somebody just tried to call me. I'm gonna let them know I'm doing on the live. Any more questions, family? Well, let me see if I can get that. How do you say the big mama pick the wife for? Somebody said, "How do you say the big mama picks the wife for the king?" Oh, that's Rod Hayes that says that big mama picks the wife for the children. Yes, that's a Chief Rod Hayes. Excuse me. That says that, and I believe in that. I believe in choosing the spouse for your children, or at least have arranged marriages or some type of arrangement, because it used to be kind of like that in our community anyway. Well, it was like that. We had arranged marriages in some of our communities, and when you raise people in a certain community and that's all they know, they usually pick from the tribe or the community.
Well, the only problem with that, if you want to go there,
yes,
is because we're living in a world where women are as wild as men. It used to be women used to be virgins before they got married, right?
Okay.
And the women are now screwing more than these men are. So it's not like you're able to link up and build wealth together, because that's really what an arranged marriage is. You're arranging two people to build wealth and build family, right?
Okay.
And if you can't do that, and you got somebody who's just as buck wild as you're not going to be able to do it.
Why don't everybody stop being buck wild, both men and women?
We need to, but it takes. Oh Lord, it takes a lot for us to get that, because you remember now, it's about 2 generations that have gone astray.
Yeah.
Because we haven't buckled down and got on these children's asses like we needed to.
That's true.
And they just been running around crazy, thinking that they can do whatever they want to do. And the downside of these people not being in a marriage, you don't have nobody home with the child, because if somebody got to work, nobody at home with the child. So if the child at home by themselves, they can bring in the girlfriends and everything.
I know.
They don't have to worry about getting enough money to get a hotel room.
No, because nobody home to watch them anyway.
Ain't nobody home. So mama gonna be gone at work between 5 p.m. to midnight, They know they can get it in from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. They good.
Crazy. We got to get back to some morality.
Right. And until we change that kind of mindset, it ain't gonna get back to that. We got to work on that one. And
Okay.
and if women start really valuing themselves, the men are forced to fall in line. Because we can't do it unless the women say yes.
Yeah.
We can't. I mean, any other kind of way would be rape. And that's against the law. You don't want to be doing that to yourself. But if the women said, no, baby, you're going to have to show me something before you can get to me. You got to show me some respect, open up my door, talk to me in a certain way.
Yes.
Don't, bitch and hoe, call me by my name and just be respectful when you're talking. Don't be talking down to me like I don't mean anything.
It should be a culture, yes, and there should be a culture of respect,
Right.
And I was telling my sons that before the 90s, there was respect for women. But
Correct.
with that rap that came in and all that hardcore stuff, especially that West Coast rap, once that came in, now everybody want to be benevolent and all these rappers, oh, he's such a Trump supporter, he's benevolent. Well, yeah, but he was calling women bees and hoes and slamming their head down in his video. So, I don't understand. I don't understand how we got to this place, but it used to be a time like men didn't smoke cigarettes in front of women, and women didn't smoke. They didn't drink. They didn't curse in front of women. They just had such a high regard.
Correct.
Before this music.
Correct.
And movies came, that taught about, that showed the disregard for women. Sister Janine asked, so what about living together is being a bad thing without being married?
You can answer that because I don't want to touch that one.
Well, what is marriage? So that's why we need to return back, in my humble opinion, back to culture, like tribal ways or community ways, because there are some cultures, like the Sheik said, where you can be married or live together, have common law marriage without going to the courthouse. Now, shacking up with no type of ceremony, no type of buy-in from the family or the community, I don't support that. So I can't really talk about what other people should do, and the reason why I don't necessarily support that is because you have a lot of children that's born and the man could just be like, well, I never said I'd be with you to take care of you. I think that should be left up to the families and to the communities. I don't know. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you on that.
That lead to whatever you say should go, that's right for your family and your community, that's what should be abided by.
And I think if you go to that level, be honorable with it. And what honorable means is, this is my woman, this is my man, we're not playing no games, we're going to make this thing work. Right.
I like that.
But when you start doing all this other stuff, thinking because I'm not married to you, I can still do what I want on the side, then that's not being honorable, and then that needs to go out the door. And women do it to men. They play them games too. He'll be gone at work. They'll sneak some dude up in the house and do whatever they do.
For real.
It's where people get murdered, where people get hurt, and it destroys family, and then it doesn't teach these little girls, little boys anything.
Nothing.
They always in chaos.
There needs to be some. So I agree 100%. Has to be some type of agreement. You hear people say, well, we're single until married, but y'all live together. What does that mean? You setting yourself up for, like you said, somebody to get hurt, because once you intertwine semen and whatever body parts, you're married according to the Bible.
Correct.
But people's emotions really get involved, even if they say they're not emotionally connected. Once you start intertwining, people start developing some type of emotions. And so we got to have some type of rules or structure around that, in my humble opinion, or else you'll have chaos. What do y'all think in the comments?
One of the things that a lot of men messed up on is trying to see how many notches they could get on their belt.
Yeah.
And that has really been troublesome, because you know, that doesn't make you a man to see how many women you can, you know, get inside of.
It doesn't.
It's the worst thing in the world, tell you the truth. I mean, hey, I'm a brother that can pull, and I still don't think it's right, because what you do and you don't realize you're doing it to yourself, you still feel empty when you do it,
Mm,
because you're not getting nothing meaningful out of it.
mm,
Think about it. Sex, great. Okay, I did the sex. It lasted 2 or 3 hours. And oh, wow, that was wonderful. But when she's gone, you still empty.
mm.
You're empty. And that's the worst feeling ever. Because you haven't done anything but really try to destroy somebody else.
Yeah. And I never understood that mind frame. Like, why in our in society is it taught that it's okay for men to just run through women, play women, treat them like dogs and animals? You know, I got this one and that one. I never understood, like, why is that? Why would a man teach that to his sons? I've seen it in my own community. Like, that's so. And then when it comes to their daughter, they're ready to shoot up the whole community.
And unfortunately, you got dudes in their 50s and 60s. All they want to do is mess with somebody's young daughter, and I'm talking about somebody that's barely 20 years old, right?
Yeah.
And they don't realize that, okay, that's somebody's daughter, and somebody will shoot you for messing with their child.
That's the truth.
And it doesn't matter if the girl is over 18. It doesn't matter if she's 30 years old and you're 60 and 70 years old out here doing that. Right?
It don't matter if you're 30 and she's 30 and you breaking her heart and you break the wrong woman's heart. Her daddy used to, and her uncles used to come after you. We used to have some order, but all this disorder is chaotic. It's too much. We got to
get back to something that's real.
Yeah, I agree.
And the women can be the ones to start it, because we can't get the goods unless y'all give it to us.
And y'all hear that, woman? The onus is always on us, always, for everything. So since the onus is on us, we're gonna have to establish some codes for how our ladies are to conduct themselves so that they can be presentable for marriage. And this just goes to show me that that women did, in fact, have not lead communities, but we had we governed our households a certain way.
Yeah.
And right. And as long as we are the ones that grant access, the onus is going to be on us, because like the Sheik said, a man lawfully can't do anything unless you say yes. So we need to start saying no unless the man is able to do, you know, whatever he needs to do, take care of you, provide for you. But now I hear myself, but what do you do in the era where women don't, we're all about to be wealthy. You don't need
right. Now, I was waiting for you to go there. So no, wait. So now a whole mindset has to change.
Okay.
Everything is going to have to be built on respect. Because if you both have wealth, what do you have left? Honor. You have honor and respect. And if you can't honor and respect your mate to create a family, you know what I'm saying? Then you don't have nothing. Don't think just because you have wealth, you're going to be like Solomon having all these wives. That ain't going to be that's not the deal.
Not as long as you got women that's just as wealthy as you are or more wealthy.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's still going to have to be some responsibility at the end of the day.
True.
Because if you create a lot of these babies out here that don't have a father, what have you just done to that generation? Left them.
That's what we're not thinking about, is the children. Thank you for bringing that up. The children. Sheik, here's another comment. This is brother Lloyd Michael Douglas L. Hi, Sheik. He's also a Sheik from Columbus, Ohio, and Edet Moore, who teaches. He's got a book out. I wish I had it with me. I think it's in my car. I've been reading He's got Lloyd Michael Douglas L. Drop a link to your book, please, in the comment section. I wrote the foreword. That was a great honor. He's a sheik in Columbus. He has his own temple and a beautiful wife and about 5 children, I believe. Very family-oriented man. Says, I don't think we can put it all off on the woman. We can put it off on the woman, on the ladies. As crazy as things are, society has not become that unbearable as to where most women will feel like things need to change. All right. It's like we have to I think we have to restructure the whole culture. Whatever we come up with, our society needs to support that. And we've been doing whatever we want for so long. You know, everybody just kind of run roughshod. And I think that maybe that's what happens under colonization, where you can do whatever.
Yeah.
And not abide by your own cultural rules. Let me see if I can think. I don't think we can put it off on the ladies. As crazy as things are, society has not become that unbearable as to where most women would feel like things need to change. Thank you, Brother Lloyd, Michael Douglas L. I long for the day when everybody's responsible, both the ladies and the men. So, and I would tell my sons this too. I would say, just because a lady opens up her legs don't mean you're supposed to slide in. Just because a woman treats herself like a harlot doesn't mean you have to treat her like a harlot. You have to have enough integrity as a man to say, young lady, this is not the way you should be treating yourself. And you know, my sons are like, what? Because they heard the men saying, no, if she a hoe, treat her like a hoe. No, I said have some integrity. If you have integrity, and ladies and gentlemen, treat your sons and your daughters to have integrity and to be honorable and respectful, because too long we've said men can run roughshod, they can do whatever they want, they can be a man. It's, you know, and it has a purpose. We understand men have their own nature, but if you teach everybody to live in honor and to have integrity, then we will have a society full of integrity, people full of integrity. So I told my sons, you treat women the way you want somebody to treat your mother. And if it doesn't line up with the way I live my life, my morals, values, and principles, you shouldn't even be laying in the bed with her. You should not even lay in the bed with her. Because if you lay down with dogs, you're going to get fleas. If you lay down with itch bays, whether it's a female dog or not, you're going to get fleas. Why lay down with somebody you don't want to have some type of covenant agreement with? Well, because you just wanted to get one off? Okay, what happens when she gets pregnant? What happens if she catch feelings? What happens if her daddy comes after you?
Yep, to all that. And men have to start living by this principle. Just because I can don't mean I should.
You said that the other day.
I mean that. That's why I keep saying it. Just because you can don't mean you should.
That goes for us too, because you know, now women, we got it's your thing, do what you want to do. You know, I can't tell you who to sock it to. And you have older women teaching young women to get as many many partners, as many body counts as you can, travel the world, and you know, which I don't have a problem with traveling, but I do have a problem with women just going around traveling alone. That's me. I think it's dangerous, but that's Dr. Kia Pruitt, got nothing to do with how. But older women who have made a lot of decisions that have led them to hell are now teaching the young women to do the same thing, and it's a travesty.
Well, they teach them, have a man that's going to pay your bills, have a man that's going to help you fix some things and cut your grass, and then have a man that's going to screw you right.
I know.
Right, and unfortunately, that's a game that can go wrong real quick, and it doesn't get you anywhere, and you have a lot of chaos in your life. You don't know that you created the chaos, and you think you're having fun, and it's not the way to do it. I hate to even say it that way, but it is that way, because think about this: when you go to a hotel room, you sleep in that bed, you try to sleep in that bed, and you're having a hard time going to sleep because you don't know what kind of spirits have been in that bed before you.
Oh.
You don't know that just the night before there was some homosexual sex going on, or somebody was having an extramarital affair in that bed, or somebody was being a pedophile and taking a child in that bedroom and doing whatever, or somebody is doing whatever in that room, right?
Mm-hmm.
All kind of stuff, and you having a hard time going to sleep. And for you all that sleep with the comforter on, oh,
Mm-hmm.
shame on you, because it's a lot of semen on that.
Ooh, somebody just mentioned sexually transmitted diseases and demons.
Yes, you better rip that dang comforter out, and sometimes they don't even replace the sheets,
What?
because if they look clean to the maid, they just pull them right back up.
Oh my God.
So you got to be careful. You know, Patti LaBelle says, "I travel with my own linen."
Well,
But
Sheik, just go ahead.
there was a situation at a Hampton Inn, and that Hampton Inn, the guests said they kept smelling something funny.
Mm.
They didn't know that they were actually sleeping on top of a dead body that was under the bed.
Oh my God.
Because some of those beds sit on a foundation that looks like a little square.
Yes, yes. I've seen those.
Well, if you pull up the mattress, you can put something inside of it.
Oh my
And
God.
whoever murdered that person put that person inside that, and they sleeping on top of a dead body.
Oh, Sheik, this is horrible.
You can pull that up on. I mean, I'm not asking you to, but I'm saying something. Y'all can pull that up and just say Hampton Inn dead body,
Mm,
and they'll tell you the whole deal.
mm. Thank you so much, Sheik. You're awesome. I'm always honored to have you because you bring life to the Soul Tribe. You're entertaining. You're educational. You're intelligent. I mean, you're good looking. Your sisters were saying earlier today that you're very handsome. What would you like to leave us with? Any last words before we close out? Maybe
Hey, get
sisters, how do
ready
you?
for 322 Skull and Bones. It's the end, and there's a new beginning that's coming, right? And like I
Okay.
told y'all, 10 means God's promise and God's word. 10 days from 322 is 41, April 1st. And
Mm,
everything's about to change. So we're right there where we need to be. But when you all see gas prices going up, it's only a ritual. It's not what you think it is.
okay.
All right. It's going to go up to about $5.10 to let you know that the land is being restored back to you.
Okay.
So don't trip, because it's not going to last long. And when it's over with, know that you've been restored.
Mm,
And then the gas price is going to drop to where
okay.
they were 51 years ago. And
Really?
food is going to drop to where it was 51 years ago. So now you'll have great wealth. Oh, just like that picture I showed you with Donald Trump talking about King Tut
Yes.
with that speech.
Yes.
He said lower prices. It's on the marquee on the little thing behind him. It says
Okay.
lower prices, bigger paychecks. So it's what it's saying is you're gonna have lower prices, like I just said, from 51 years back, but you'll have more money now.
Mm,
So you'll be able to operate and pay whatever you got to pay, but you got all this money to pay it. Not like you're real tight anymore, just to, have to make a choice on what bill you have to pay and whatever else you got to pay. And let me speak on that real quick.
okay.
The bills, the utility bills, they're not going to be able to charge you for what's already yours. Your resources are yours: the electricity, the air, the water. They can't charge you
Oh,
for your resources. They can't charge you for the gas. It's yours, right? So everything got to be restored back to you, including your health, including your wealth, including your families. When they broke up your families, they got to restore that too. That's why that
come
whole
on.
child support thing, we got to start figuring this thing out as a community, and we have to start raising our own and not letting the government tell us how to do it, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
and they already shut down the Department of Education, right? Department of Education was the United States that was giving you historical revisionism. It wasn't telling you what the real deal, your true history, right? That's why
Right.
you came out of the last Black History Month. It was the 100th anniversary of the Black History Month.
Mm,
100. You remember, 10 means God's promise, God's word, but 10 times 10, 10
it's
is God's
100.
promise, 10 times 10. So 10 times 10 is 100. So now we're out of that because we're no longer going to being black, Negro, colored. We're going to being kings, queens, emperors, empresses, what we really were, the true
I love
history
it.
of our people.
Now, do you support the concept that there will be a revaluation of currencies, foreign currencies? Because somebody wants to know, will that take place for those people who have foreign currencies or RV? And if it will take place, will it happen after the fall of the United States corporation? And
Yes,
yes.
it's going to happen when the fall happens. The fall happens on 3/22. Okay. Now, when that falls, now I can't give you an exact date, but I can
Okay.
tell, like I said, from here on out, you're going to start seeing the change. Before you didn't see it because they only gave you the signs and the symbols of it, right? But now you're going to actually start seeing the change, right?
Come on.
And when you start seeing it, the RV is going to most likely be the post office.
The post office. Oh,
right. Because when you're dealing with foreign currency, the highest currency that we deal with that's acceptable from these retail stores is $100 bill. Right?
Yeah.
So everybody else that's on this currency that you call fiat is the president, but on that $100 bill is the postmaster general.
Wow.
Benjamin. Benjamin.
He was a postmaster general.
He was the postmaster, never a president, postmaster general.
I did not know that.
So the RV is going to happen at the post office, and the post office is your highest court, right? They're letting you know what's really going on.
Wow.
Someone said it. Post office are the banks. They're correct.
Didn't know that. So
money
that's why
orders, money orders, right?
What you say?
Money orders.
Yeah, I was about to say that's why you can get money orders from there. Okay.
Stamps is currency.
Stamps is currency?
Yes. Think about it, Dr. Kidd. Aren't food stamps currency?
Yes.
So they say it in the UCC that stamps is currency. What they call
is that why our grandparents used to collect stamps? I had people used to collect stamps.
It says fiat coupons. That's currency, right?
Yes.
Stamps, promissory notes.
Okay.
That's currency.
Wow.
Because there hasn't been no real money since June 5th of 1933.
Come on. Now, could you end on med beds? Because I had several questions about med beds. Are they coming out, and when? The people are tired.
Probably not going to be going to a residential type thing.
Okay.
But they will have them available. They're changing the whole hospitals.
They're changing the hospitals? Okay.
Yeah, they're getting rid of the doctors. They're arresting these doctors for what they did. See, it's just like the doctors, the lawyers, the bankers, anybody who effed up our people. See, the doctors were the first in line to mess us up and made us sign them contracts, those birth certificate contracts.
Right.
They're the ones who stole your birthright. They were your Esau, and we were the Jacobs, as in me.
Wow. Yes, what a beautiful earth this is going to be. You taught me a lot this evening. You can't put your trust in mere man, Sister Donna says. Okay. All in authority. Wow. Who's broke? Who's broke, family? Y'all saying they're broke. The banks? Who?
All of them are turning into wealth management because it's no longer a bank, because that money, that fiat, is no longer money. That's why they're breaking down the whole Federal Reserve. That's all falling. So if that's gone, the RV got to happen. And then everything is going to be digital. Now, the only thing I have a problem with the digital thing is people can still hack. So I hope that they have, with this quantum financial system, a more secure way of being able to secure whatever you have. And people, when you have all this wealth, like Dr. Key had been saying for the last 5, 6, 7 years, get gold and silver. She means that, because if somebody hacks into your system, the best thing that you're going to have to be able to stay wealthy is actual gold and silver and copper. Get it.
And copper.
Get
Right.
it. And if I were you and I had some wealth, I'd build my own bunker, and my bunker would be my bank.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I mean, build your own bunker and let that be your bank.
Absolutely. The righteous ones are back. Yes. What about credit unions? You think they'll go away or be changed into wealth management centers? Yes, there'll be blockchain. I agree, Brother Tony Hood. Somebody want to know about credit unions. Thank you so much for the super sticker. God bless you. You know anything about the credit unions?
No, I didn't say anything about the credit union. I don't know anything about the credit unions other than everything has to go to a tier 4 system. And what have you heard? Let me ask you that, because I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Well, you know, I hear people say that credit unions are safer, but I honestly don't know. All I know is that I'm going to a wealth management center that's Basel compliant, that has gold in their coffers, and tier 2 reserves, which are foreign currencies.
Okay, tier 2. That's why I stopped myself, because I wasn't sure, and I don't want to be saying misleading to people. So you're saying, okay.
I only know about wealth management centers. I really don't know much about the credit unions. Sorry about that, family. I wish I knew.
But what we do know is in 2 days, it's Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones, 322. And isn't that's their number, right? 322?
Yep. Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones. It's going to be over for them.
It's over for them.
Here you go. Tony Hood said Mr. C, who's somebody that frequents Mark Z's show. Mark Z is an Intel provider. He says that that the credit unions will be compliant as well. Okay, thank you. And quantum, they're saying quantum system is blockchain. Okay, yes, I heard that too. All right, yes, we're going to get our assets back. All right, Sheik, if somebody wants to get in contact with you, because you are the Sheik of the Soul Tribe and you've given some amazing information, you've risen the vibrations of the people. People are saying they're excited, they're dancing, they're happy, they're grateful. How can the family get in contact with you if they want to get on that waiting list for your new book, The Copper Kings, Transition and Power?
This your law. DEJURELAW 33 at gmail.com.
Okay. And when is the book? When is the book possibly coming out? What's the projected?
Well, I'm just telling y'all, the only holdup that's been for me, and this is real. I have some funds coming in that I've been kind of anticipating, and as soon as I get them, I'm going to pour out the first batch of volume 1, so I can satisfy all the pre-orders that have already been requested. And oh my God, I got thousands of people who want that volume 1 already, and I know that number would be much higher if I already had that book available, because everybody who's been listening, they be like, I got to get that book. Some people have wanted like 4 or 5 books just for their family.
That's beautiful. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I've been getting requests from the United Kingdom, from Thailand, all over the world.
That's
Australia.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing a phenomenal job educating us. Yes, you're welcome. And just putting us on game, as they say, as the young people say, because you know, a lot of things are coded. They kept us in the dark, but you're bringing this to the light. And now we feel so much better knowing what's been put right in our faces. We know what they've been doing, what they're up to. And more importantly, we know that power is being returned back to the people.
Ain't that nice?
That's beautiful.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you having me on as always. And I always enjoy our conversations.
We appreciate you too, Sheik. Wow, I got 76 comments already. Uh, just that just 76 that just came on just a few minutes. I've been talking, trying to wrap this up. They said, thank you, Sheik. We appreciate you. Let's see. And somebody said, what did you say? What a blessing. Yes, such a gift. Yes, he is. If you all would like to donate to him and his work, please support him by sending him a cash app to $ all rights reserved. And he would greatly appreciate it. Who's that? Oh, gratitude. Thank you. It's our great pleasure. Thank you. And then I want to just finally send a shout out to the Soul Tribe for you all being here. Thank you for your time and your energy. Some of us haven't eaten yet. I got to go eat. Sheik has to go eat. Some of you have to go eat. Thank you for your comments. And thank you to Brother Philip and Chief Mac, and to the rest of you. Oh, I got more. Thank you for the Cash App blessings. I even got more. Hold on, family.
Hey.
Hey, Kim Smith says gratitude. This is a donation. Thank you, Sister Kim. I appreciate you. Kathy says gratitude. Oh, excellent show. Ariel says excellent show. Thank you, Ariel. And thank you, Sister Kim. Thank you, Sister Kathy says thank you for all you do. Thank you, Edward, for saying this is a donation. And Chief Mac, thank you. Philip, thank you. To my son Dexter and everybody that has contributed to the show, whether you've given Cash App donation, your energy, your time. We appreciate you. We love you. You've heard from the Sheik of the show, Soul Tribe, Sheik Jacob Bey, and I'm Dr. Kia Pruitt. I trust that we've said something to raise your vibrations and inspire you to create the most amazing, magnificent life that you desire and deserve. Good night, family. Thank you for being here.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And you know I got to go out with the outro that was written by none other than our brother Kenneth, who is a private member. He's given me such great energy. He has written the theme song for the Dr. Kia Pruitt Show, and we share it as our intro and our outro. But before that, if you are interested in joining our private group, feel free to do that. We have a meeting tomorrow around 12 noon. It'll either be Saturday or Sunday, where we talk about investments. We share news, we share information on the private group. You can just hit the join button anywhere on any of my videos or anywhere on the Dr. Kia Pruitt Show on YouTube, or you can click on this link and I'll make sure I put it in the chat for you. We talked about, let's see, briefly the other day, we talked about why silver and gold took a hit, what that means for us, why that's happening. And we also talked about some currencies people are not paying attention to that the Soul Tribe might want to consider, because currencies around the world are revaluing, but there are lots of places that I've said they're open for business or they're open to American market. So join the tribe, the Soul Tribe private group. If you like to, hit the join button and follow the prompts and you'll be in. We'll have a meeting sometime this weekend. I have over 100 videos just for private members only. Now we do share a lot of information here with everybody, because everybody needs to have this information, but just for a private group where we talk about certain information that maybe is not fit for the public, because everybody don't want to know what you're investing in. Everybody want to know your thoughts about the revaluation of currencies, right? So we share that with the private membership group only. That's it, family. Have a happy Friday. Yay! I love you all so much. Remember, when you go to sleep, tell yourself, if you have any issues that you're trying to figure out, any things you want to solve, I'm going to resolve this. Remember the elder people in your family say, let me think on that. Let me sleep on that. Because when you're asleep, it's quiet, you're at rest, your mind can receive messages from your higher self or from the angels or ancestors or from God, source. You're at rest, you're quiet. So before you go to sleep, tell yourself, I am going to resolve this issue. Or you ask yourself, what do I need to do in this instance? And you should be able to rest enough to work it out in your dreams. So ask yourself or tell yourself, I'm going to resolve this before I go to sleep. And then know that when you wake up in the morning, you're refreshed with a new answer. That's it, family. I love you. Have a very good night. Peace.
Pruitt, shining wisdom's light, teaching soul tribe how to see through the night. Ancient scriptures and bloodlines she knows, spreading truth wherever she goes. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. Through her channel, knowledge flows, breaking chains that hold us close, teaching paths to abundance and wealth, guiding others to free themselves. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. From currencies to investments divine, she's helping her tribe to realign with wisdom, ancient and new, showing what we all can do. Soul tribe rising, hear her call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia shows the way to a brighter, freer day. Soul tribe rising, hear a call, raising vibrations for one and all. Dr. Kia lights the way to a new and brighter day.
Good night, Soul Tribe. I'll see you soon. Peace. Rest well.